Good, what's good? What's going on, my people? It's your boy Ryan from the Six Boxing Talk Up North. I'm your host, Ryan Fraser, man. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Shout out to all my Americanos, my people down south. Happy 4th of July to y'all, man. Hope everybody's safe, enjoying the holidays. Shout out to my Canadians. Happy belated Canada Day. July 1st was our day. We had a busy weekend here at the Fraser household, and man, boxing is hot in July. It is. But we talk about November. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a lot to talk about next week. Starting with fight week, of course. We got the big women's card coming up next week on Friday. Netflix, Amanda Seriano, Katie Taylor, 3. You know, some people say I don't know why we got it. Man, it's the biggest fight in women's boxing. Y'all know that. Y'all need to stop, man. Y'all need to stop with that. But it's a great card. Deja Green and Savannah Marshall. That's the fight for me. That's the fight I'm watching. That's the one I'm looking forward to. You know, Shadeja Green possibly beating her best opponent. Savannah Marshall will be her best opponent. And then Savannah Marshall coming back, you know, off the layoff, beating a potential opponent that a lot of people say Clarissa Shields don't want to fight. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to both them women for getting in the ring, mixing it up. Alicia Bumgarner will be on the card. Tam Tebow from Canada will be on the card. Jessica Mara from Canada will be on the card. So we will be well represented. And then Saturday, man. Saturday the banger too. You know, Edgar Berlanga and Hamza Shiraz. You know, Shakur Stevenson and William Zepeda. Obviously, I think most of us fans, you know, the fight that's not very talked about much, but the one I think we're all looking forward to is Sabril Matias and Alberto Puello. You know, no matter what you're gonna say, man, that's a 50-50 fight for real. Like we don't know who's coming out of that one. But yeah, boxing is great in July, man. July is it. But shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure you smash that like button like Ann Wolf. You
Did
know?
not really fight her.
One punch. That is it. Forget about the count. It is over.
Salute to my guy, the hangout spot, my man Johnny in there. Salute to you, brother, man. I really appreciate you, man. Always showing love to the channel. Make sure y'all go check him out, the hangout spot. My man be on he be on I think Tuesday and Thursday and Sunday as well for the recaps. Man, he got fire interviews, so it don't even matter. Go check the channel out. Go hit the recap shows. Y'all gonna find the stuff out, man. And he in the Brian Norman Jr. camp. And we talking about that today. So he in the camp with them. You know, he gonna be mixing it up through this camp. He gonna see a lot of what we trying to break down from the outside looking in. But let's get right into it, man. We talking about the Devin Haney, Norman Jr. undercard, but with the big announcement, a lot of people are asking the question: is that fight the main event or the co-main event? Brian Norman Jr., Devin Haney, they were the first, I would say, fight that was announced for November. You know, there was other fights in the air. I think ultimately, y'all, I think this will happen, man. I think actually Bivol and Beterbiev was supposed to be November. And obviously things fell through with that. And Turkey Al Sheik was supposed to have Devin Haney in August against Teo. That fell through. So, you know, Brian Norman Jr., his fight was kind of worked out perfectly in the timeline. And his name was probably popped around before. So, you know, I think also what happened was I think Turkey Al Sheik wanted Boots and Norman. And then all these fights started falling apart. And the only two guys left on the board that, you know, signing up to fight right now was Devin Haney and Brian Norman. And they got it done quick and easy. We saw how that played out online. It was a few days and that thing was signed, man. So salute to them guys again. I'm always gonna say that. Those two brothers getting the fight done. Now we just gotta wait, man. We gotta wait. They gotta make it there, make it to the finish line, and we'll have a good fight night. But I'll be honest with y'all, I'm not concerned with if this fight is the main or the co-main. It's a great fight, man. And I think the names and the way the fight cards are starting to round up on Riyadh season, like pretty much the co's and the mains are like two main events at this point. So we as fans, we're winning, man. If this thing costs the same as the Better Biev and Bivol 2, like $25, bro, we already winning. We already winning with getting Haney and Norman as our headline, and the other fights that are starting to pretty much fall in place. It's already worth the money. So I'm not concerned about that. If this fight is the main event or the co-main event, I don't know how some people feel about it. I don't know if you guys feel that this fight should be a lock for the main and that it's disrespectful. But I'm fine with wherever it lands because the fight's good, man. It's a great fight. Shout out to the two guys for stepping in there and making it happen. And really what it comes down to for me at least is like, all right, Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr., they're probably the youngest dudes on the card, bro, outside of Abdullah Mason. So these guys are up and comers. You might as well showcase them that to the sport, to the whole world, and you might as well headline them because they probably gonna whoever the winner is. This is the potential rematch. So if this fight is great, you could tell the fans not only did y'all watch a great fight in the main event, we gonna have to get another one. Well, it's a rematch one way. So I mean, if Norman wins, he probably won't rematch Devin Haney. He'll probably chase unifications, which I wouldn't be mad at. I mean, this is what we do in boxing. You're supposed to be doing in boxing, defending your title, winning other titles. I think the only way Devin Haney gets a rematch if Norman wins is if Devin Haney goes and gets some big wins or he goes and gets a strap. And then now it's a unification belt. But if Devin Haney wins the belt, it's a rematch clause for Norman Jr. And I think a lot of people are saying that the ring belt should be included. I'm on the fence with that. I always feel like it should be the 1 and 2, but boxing doesn't always get things right. Boxing doesn't always it's not always nice to us, right? Like boxing sometimes it's hypocritical. Let's be honest, man. So I mean, I think we're at a point where um I don't know, man. It should the ring be available? In my opinion, no. I think the 47 division is very scattered, man. I don't know who the top four are. Like Devin Haney beat Jose Ramirez. Okay. Barrios has the better win with the Ugas. But then people are gonna, say, well, Haney's got Lomachenko and all this other stuff, accolades. Bro, like it should be what you've done at 47 in the division. And then Brian Norman Jr., he's beaten Santillan and Jin Sasaki, and pretty much all his wins are at 47 because he's been there. So I don't know, man. It's scattered right now. It's to me, I'd want to see more balance, but this is not boxing. I won't even be shocked really if the ring is put up for the Barrios versus Pacquiao fight, you know, and they try to swindle it that way. Like, oh, let's try to give Manny Pacquiao opportunity to win the Ring Magazine belt because who he is and him carrying our belt means something to us. But it don't mean squat to me because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna bet. I don't know. Would y'all look at Manny Pacquiao as the number one welterweight if he beats Mario Barrios? I guess he's taking the strap off a champ, but that's just how light the division is now with all the names. And I'm not saying that the names aren't good. I'm saying that they just haven't. There hasn't been enough guys fighting each other at 47 for us to cement one guy or even three guys as the top three. It's been pretty shallow ever since that great division of guys left. Like, Spence not fighting, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Terrence Crawford. Ever since those guys left, man, it's Lamont Peterson as well. Like, it's just the division has been pretty shallow, right? So I mean, I'm not hating on it if they do put the ring in this fight for Haney and Norman Jr., the ring belt, but I won't be shocked either if it's in the Pacquiao and Barrios fight. I think somebody will throw it in there. Turkey Al-Sheikh has been facilitating that belt to us, and as a fighter, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'd fight for it because it's a sanctioning body that's probably gonna pay me well, Turkey Al-Sheikh, and they're not gonna take no 3% from me. they're not gonna take no 3%, man. There's no sanctioning fees with the ring. So I think it's just it's one of those ones, bro. It's one of those ones where we can all debate it, right? But at the end of the day, sanctioning bodies, Turkey Al Sheikh and his round table of people, they're gonna make a decision on which fight they're gonna put it on. And it, in my opinion, it's probably gonna be on the Barrios and Pacquiao. And I'm just saying this because it's the writers, bro. There's a lot of people that just don't like Devin Haney for whatever reason. He's the one petitioning for it in his fight, and they're probably gonna look at Pacquiao like, oh, yo, Pacquiao's done so much for the sport. If he's holding this belt for us, it's gonna put the belt value up because of Pacquiao. So they're looking at other things, man, that I'm not looking at. Shout out to my guy, Dr. Boxing Talk in the crib. Oh, no, my brother. So I look at Manny as the number one welterweight right now. How else could you come back after 4 years and a loss and get a title shot? I'm convinced he's the best. Yo, Doc's crazy, bro. Look, man.
Oh, look at this guy.
He's like, yo, man. Pacquiao came back and he the man. He the number one man. Yeah, man. No. Oh, Doc, I'm actually not bashing you. I'm saying, bro, you actually right. There's gonna be people on the panel, in the ring panel, that are gonna say just that. Gonna be like, yeah, Pacquiao. Y'all remember when Pacquiao was doing this and that? Look at all his wins at 47, even though they're like 5 years ago. There's gonna be some people sitting at that table saying that ridiculous stuff. But we've seen it way too many times in boxing. We've been failed way too many times in boxing with common sense. So at this point, yeah, we're gonna get that, bro. We're gonna get that for sure, man. And shout out to Doc. He's a member, bro. Fucking guy, bro. Doing this thing, man. Make sure y'all go check him out. Dr. Boxing Talk. He up early in the morning for all the fights, in Japan. He got a good live chat. He got a good community over there. Make sure y'all go check him out. Dr. Boxing Talk. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I think Norman Jr. and Haney, though they can make a case to have that ring belt in that fight, I just feel like they're gonna get put on the back burner. Not because it's Manny Pacquiao, but more because the aura of Manny Pacquiao. Like a lot of people are actually picking Manny Pacquiao to win the fight. I'm not picking him to win the fight because I'm just saying, like, for all the time, I'm sorry, like Pacquiao, unless you're gonna, I don't know, man, pull out a performance of a lifetime, he's just shown to me at least that age has caught up with him. In the Floyd fight, he looked slow. He looked like he was in mud, man. And obviously we saw the fight before that. Marquez stopped him there. And it's just to me, it's like, man, Manny Pacquiao is not that same dude. Not at all, yo. Not at all. Manny Pacquiao ain't the same guy, but they gonna treat it like that. They're gonna look at it. It's all nostalgic. It's all replay to me of Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. All these old heads squared up and down. Mike Tyson was gonna knock this dude out. I don't even know why they were thinking that. Mike Tyson could barely walk. This man Pacquiao, he was looking bad against a dude who not even a real boxer. Like, I get it. That dude was he was a big dude. But Mario Barrios, he ain't no small dude either. He like 6 foot. You know what I'm saying? He gonna rehydrate, man. So like Pacquiao, I don't know. He gonna get the break speed off him, in my opinion. But hey, we'll see. We'll see what goes on, man. Shout out to Smoochy in the building. What's going on? Happy 4th of July to y'all, man. Hope y'all enjoying yourself down there, and hope everybody's being safe, yo. Don't get into any wild stuff tonight. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it a bill. What's going on, my man? L-Dub Boxing. What's going on, brother? My man L-Dub, make sure y'all check him out. He got a great channel as well. He always dropping that news, and man, L-Dub he got good calculations of what's gonna happen because he pays attention to the rankings, man. And when you pay attention to the rankings, you actually see what they're gonna do, because what they're gonna do is they're gonna rank the guy first before they make the fight, right? That's like the same thing with Pacquiao. This guy got pushed into the 5th ranking in WBC. And a lot of us should have all said, "Oh shoot, the BC up to something." Mario Barrios over there. But I still didn't think it was gonna happen. But here we are, man. July 19th in a couple weeks. We're gonna have Pacquiao entering the ring again. But hey, it is what it is. Shout out to Smoochie. She said, I'm in the house. It sounds like a war in Chirac outside right now. Yo, that's wild. Saying them fireworks is just beating off the sky, yo.
Hey, don't everybody believe in Google? Go Google that shit. See what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Chirac, yo. Y'all go Google that stuff, man. But hey, hopefully everybody's safe out there and enjoying themselves. Hopefully nobody getting too wild, right? With them fireworks. Some of them people be playing. They be doing some wild stuff, man. But we got another fight that was announced pretty much on that card. I think this is why people are questioning if Haney and Norman's gonna be the main, because Benavidez versus Yarde, respectively, they're both popular fighters as well. Benavidez, WBC champ at 175, and Yarde, obviously, he's contend against some of the best in the division. He's pretty much a household name in the UK. Anthony Yarde. The man's always fighting in good fights. I think the part about Yarde is like he's always fell short in the big fight, but he's put up good fights in the big fight. So I mean, this is why I'm looking at it like it's a respectable fight for Benavidez. I know it's probably not the name his fans want to see, but what else you gonna do, bro? You gonna sit out and wait, especially now that Bivol and Beterbiev are not gonna fight till 2026. I think they went, or Turki Al-Sheikh went and just told Benavidez, "Yo, I got you this fight. You can take it, because I did promise you the winner of Bivol and Beterbiev. So I'm not gonna let you sit out that whole time." And maybe PBC offered him a fight first, but Benavidez maybe felt like, that lane wasn't good for him. I mean, they have a September date booked, PBC, but clearly they didn't give it to Benavidez. So you got to think, like, did they present it to him? Did they even give it to him? Present it to him? It would be a week after Independence Day, so a week after Crawford Canelo. I'm pretty sure is their event. Maybe the date he just didn't like it, or maybe Riyadh came in and gave him a better offer. We don't know, but I'm happy Benavidez is gonna get in the ring again. He hasn't been in the ring since January. This will be his second time in the ring. I think he's at that elite fighter stance, so he's probably only gonna fight twice a year now. And yeah, you gotta get one in, man, before the year's done. The bills don't stop. You gotta get paid, you gotta make your money. And why not Anthony Yarde? He's a guy who's fought your contemporaries pretty much. He's fought Sergey Kovalev when he was pretty much in his not prime, but I would say the end of his prime. He fought Arthur Beterbiev more recent. So I mean, it's a gauge fight for Benavidez, really, And we'll see what Anthony Yarde can do. Maybe Anthony Yarde can surprise us all. Maybe he can stun Benavidez. But I don't know, man. I just don't think that Anthony Yarde's gonna win, man. I think this is gonna be another situation where he falls short. No knock against Anthony Yarde. I just don't know what he can do to derail Benavidez. I think Benavidez now with the rehydration, he's probably more acclimated to the weight more than ever. And he's got that boogeyman style, man, that walk down style. I like it. I'm here for it. As long as it's benevolence at all times, which he's standing on that. And that's him. That's who he is, man. Yeah, he's trying to make good fights. I like Benavidez. I'm a fan of him. I don't got him beating my guys Bivol or Beterbiev, but I think he gives them their best fights too. I just do, man. I think Anthony Yarde, he's limited. He hasn't shown us a new gear in his boxing ability. That's where I think he lacks. I think he's a power puncher. He's got some power, but it seems like as the competition has gotten up, he just hasn't been able to set those punches up, because now the IQ level's up. The guys know what's coming. They study you. The playbook's out, bro. You gotta set things up. But yeah, I just don't think that Anthony Yarde, he got nothing for Benavidez in the long haul. He's gonna wear down and he's got gas tank issues, which is gonna really affect him. Smoochie, she said, Benavidez got it for sure. Shout out to Benavidez, man. My man, Dr. Boxing Talk, he said, I love this fight. Watching Callum Smith interviews, he didn't seem too excited to fight David. And I don't blame him. I actually like Benavidez versus Yarde more than Benavidez versus Smith. You? I like Benavidez versus Smith better because Callum Smith is a former champ. You know, he brings a lot more to the table than Anthony Yarde in the sense of accolades. I thought he put up a good fight against Beterbiev. You know, they obviously they tried to go to Canada and win the belt off Beterbiev. Got stopped. I don't know, man. I like the Callum Smith fight a little bit better though. I do like it a little bit better, especially Callum Smith's last fight with Boazzi. You know, he showed a lot of dog in that fight. So I'd like to see that same dog because you know, Callum Smith kind of reminds me a little bit of Caleb Plant. You know, he's got a little bit of that FU in him, man. And he's a dog, man. And I'd like to see how Benavidez fights against the bigger guys who got good resistance because, you know, say what you want about Benavidez. Since he's moved up, he hasn't stopped anybody. So maybe the power is not carrying, or maybe the guys are you know, they're taking it good. But I just think we're at that point where I want to see David Benavidez pushed a bit. And I'm not saying Callum Smith beats him. Hell no. I'm not saying that. I think Callum Smith loses too, but I think the fight's a little closer, you know, down the stretch. But we'll see how Yarde does, man. He's Dr. Boxer Talk. He said, yeah, I agree. I think David eventually wears him down, but it'll be a great while it lasts. Yeah, in my opinion. No, you're right, man. I think so too. I think David Benavidez will overwhelm him. It won't be a KO, like a one-punch knockout. It'll be more like a TKO, man. Like they'll be like, nah, we ain't trying to do this no more, type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see, man. We'll see what goes down with it. You know. What else we got? We got Sam Noakes, Abdullah Mason. Obviously, Abdullah Mason, Sam Noakes, they fighting for the vacant WBO lightweight title. Man, that title that Keyshawn dropped, man, I don't know why he did that, man. Keyshawn Davis, like, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with Keyshawn. He's one of my favorite fighters, by the way. But that whole thing he did in his last fight, I'm not gonna say it set him back. I'm just gonna say it may have you know, it was a bump in the road, man. It was a bump in the road, but you know, I just feel like Abdullah Mason, this is your time, bro. You gotta take that opportunity that Keyshawn dropped. You gotta pick it up and run with it because he fumbled the baton, man. It's definitely Mason time, and you guys gotta understand that Top Rank it gonna shift the energy to Mason, man, because he's the younger man, the cheaper man, and he got probably the bigger ceiling, right? You need a superstar in boxing. They got one. They got one. They got a superstar in Abdullah Mason, but he's got to go win this title. He's still got to beat Sam Noakes. Sam Noakes, no disrespect, but like I look at Abdullah Mason too. I'm like, okay, Nakatili's his best win. Ryan Walsh, I think, is Sam Noakes' best win. So they don't have tremendous wins, right? We just going off eye test at this point. So Abdullah Mason still got to go in there and win. If he can stop Sam Noakes, star is born, man. He can steal the whole show. He can steal this whole Haney and Norman card. He can steal it with the highlight reel knockout. You know, he's gonna be in Riyadh. Sorry. So his fight's gonna be on during the day. I'm in the East Coast, so that's fine for me. I get it for people in the West. They gotta watch this probably in the morning. But Abdullah Mason's one of one, man. Shout out to my guy Herb Winston in the building. What's going on, brother? I appreciate you, man, for tuning in. He said David's gas tank is way better than Yarde's. Nah, yeah, that's a fact, man. That's a fact. Dr. Box and Taki said, I feel that. I picked Smith to beat Boazzi. I like him. I don't see him doing much against Benavidez. Nah, that's facts, man. That's facts, yo. Keyshawn and his brothers are doofuses to me after that stunt they pulled Yeah, yo, Smoochie. I was watching the TV like,
Oh, look at this guy.
what's this guy doing, bro? What's he doing backstage back there like that? Acting a whole fool. But hey, man, Keyshawn Davis, I hope he learned from it, man. I hope he learned from it. Shout out to my man Adam in the building. What's going on? He said, I'm surprised everybody's picking to beat Cepeda. Oh, Shakur? Shakur to beat Cepeda handily. If he has a great fight, he could. But it's not gonna be easy, man. Yeah. I think we'll see. We'll see, man. I just don't know. Like Zepeda, my whole issue with Zepeda is he's kind of one dimensional. You know, but we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll talk about that one. We'll talk about that one on Monday, probably. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, back to the Sam Noakes, Abdullah Mason. I think Abdullah Mason, this is his time, man. This is his time. If he wins the fight, it dubs him as the youngest champion in boxing. He can hold that title. And I just don't know how long he's gonna stay at 35. This kid is gonna grow. He's growing, sorry. So we could very well see a Keyshawn Davis and Abdullah Mason fight. I doubt it, but it can happen because I just don't know how long Abdullah's gonna stay at 35 should he win the BO title. You know, if he wins the title, who's he gonna unify with? Because you know, there's Raymond Mulataya, Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson. Okay, Shakur Stevenson will probably be free. And if Abdullah Mason is who he says he is, in my humble opinion, he fights Shakur Stevenson next. Because I think he's ranked like number 2 in the BC. Now I don't know if he wins the BO title. Oh, he loses ranking, but I mean a unification, right? This is what Shakur Stevenson should want. If Shakur beats Zepeda, why would he not invite a fight with Abdullah Mason? You know what I'm saying? Like this division, these guys don't unify. like these guys don't unify at 35, man. They need to start unifying. So I think if Shakur Stevenson is pressed by Abdullah Mason, if he don't take that fight, I'm gonna have to look at Shakur different, man. But I would hope Abdullah Mason would press the issue. He said he want all the smoke. If you want all the smoke, young man, then you got to call out all the champs. Shout out to Hugo Juice. He said, who has a better win, Mason or Schofield? Oh, Schofield got the best win right now. Tevin Farmer. First round stoppage. Ain't nobody done that. I ain't never seen anybody do that. Shout out to Schofield. You know, right now he got the better win, but and the reality is he's not in a title fight. So Abdullah Mason has the opportunity to be a champ, which which will level him up over Schofield. But I'm pretty sure the ring right now has Schofield ranked higher than Abdullah Mason. I think they have him at like number 6 or something like that, which isn't bad in my opinion. I think he probably is there with the win over Tevin Farmer. I mean, yeah, man. Yeah, Smoochie. Like, yo, Tevin Farmer just disappointed me, man. This dude, like, I picked him to win the fight. And then he went out there and he got the brakes beat off him. Like, man, I was like, but this guy, bro, like,
what? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, I was like, what happened? Like, man, I was like, damn, bro, this is crazy. Hugo, he said Bam versus Puma. You like that one? Yeah, man. I like Bam Rodriguez, and I even liked he's fighting against Cafu first. So we gotta watch that one first. We gotta make sure we win him. You gotta beat Cafu and then Puma and then undisputed. This is what we do. It's what we doing, man. Bam Rodriguez, undisputed. Shout out to Smoochie, said I missed the fight and looked at the highlights and they played the whole thing. Yo, trust me. That's how long the fight was for real. The fight was probably like all but 30 seconds, man. And Tevin Farmer was probably like this.
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that? You
My
broke
back is broken.
what? A vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
He probably went back to the corner like, yo, I'm done ski, yo. What am I gonna do? Shout out to my guy Z Pacino in the building. What's good, brother? What's good? The Spinal. Yeah, yo. That Mike, man. Tevin Farmer was definitely feeling like Mike after that Schofield punch, yo. He definitely was, man. But yeah, Abdullah Mason got his opportunity to do something special. But we'll see what he does with it. We'll see what he does with it, man. Because I'm not totally sold on Sam Noakes, but he gotta beat him. The guy is undefeated, so the guy don't know how to lose. So Abdullah Mason got to go in that fight and definitely put in work and lay this boy out, man, or else it could be a sad day for Abdullah Mason if he goes in there and loses, man. It'll put him back bad, man. But we'll see, man. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat if anybody want to jump in and talk some boxing. Yeah, man. I appreciate the support. Make sure y'all smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel, man. Share it if you want X. Share it, man. We need some more people in here to talk some boxing. Shout out to y'all. Happy 4th of July for y'all, man. Hope everybody being safe down there. And yeah, here are the few fights that are not announced but are rumored to be on that November card. Yeah, man, we got Moses Satama, Bacoli, Raymond Mulataya versus Andy Cruz, and Christian and Billy versus Lester Martinez. Those are some bangers, yo. Those are some bangers. I'll tell y'all that, man. I'll tell y'all that. Man, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Smoochie, yo. She dropped them $5 on me. She said, good to finally catch you live. About to get some sleep. Good night. Yeah, good night, yo. Hope you enjoy your 4th of July, but I appreciate the bread.
I want my chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.
Shout out to Smoochie. She brought them tips. But yeah, man, those are some good fights. Those are some great fights. Obviously Moses Thomas got to make it to the fight. Lester Martinez has got to make it to the fight. He's fighting, I think he's fighting on the 19th as well. Lester Martinez. They got fights coming up, man. And this is what Turkey, he be wilding. Like, he just announced like the Bam Rodriguez fight today. And that fight still gotta happen, bro. Like, Bam still gotta fight Cafu like in a couple weeks. Shout out to LA in the building, my dude, man. I already know what it is. Big LA in the building. Hugo said, Hamza looking for Edgar in New York. No one said, yo, bro. I was on the Boxing Voice this morning. I told Ness to play that because like Ness a big Edgar Berlanga fan. Yeah, that's was funny, bro. Yeah. He said that's what the Queensberry guys do, though. I didn't know that, but that was hilarious, bro. Like, I was laughing. I'm just Shiraz. It's good content, man. That was good content. Yeah, I seen it, bro. It was hilarious, man. It gave me a good laugh. I won't even lie. But yeah, man. I think Christian and Billy and Lester Martinez is probably the best action fight there. Them they gonna throw, bro. They both KO punchers. Raymond Mulataya and Andy Cruz, should they make it to this card, that would make this the 4th title fight. It'd be Haney and Norman's a title fight. Benavidez and Yarde's a title fight. Sam Noakes and Mason's a title fight, and then Raymond Mulataya being elevated to the IBF champ at lightweight versus Andy Cruz would make that another title fight. Yeah. Oh man, that would be a stacked card of 4 title fights, man. That's some Don King-ish. We don't get that in this day and age of boxing. So I mean, this is what I'm saying about Turki Al-Sheikh. If he puts that card together and somehow it all aligns, the guys win. I think Lester's got to fight still, and Moses Thomas got to fight in August. Those guys got to win. They fight. They win. They fight. Bro, $20 card? Oh my gosh, for all of that? Oh man. Yeah, LA, he said, yo, he's a sausage, bro. I was like, what? Yeah.
Oh, look at this guy.
Like, what? Yo, man, that's some wild stuff, bro. He said, yo, I got some Jamie.
Now I'm finally gonna go home and enjoy it with some Burger King. Here I come, baby. Burger King. Burger King. Yo.
Yo, shout out to Hamza Shiraz, yo. Man, Hugo, he said if Edgar loses in his own city, he's done. Yo, a lot's riding on Edgar Berlanga because if y'all don't know, remember he left Matchroom. He's a free agent. So, I don't know. Obviously, people weren't going to get at him. And, he's asking for a big price because he feels like he's a superstar now. So, Edgar Berlanga's price ain't cheap. So I'm sure not a lot of promoters are coming to him and giving him the money. So if he loses this fight, I don't know what happens to Edgar Berlanga. He's gonna have to go back to a different pay scale and build up again. But I think he could do it. It's just there's a lot riding on this fight for Edgar, man. Let's go, Lester. He fights next week. Yeah, Lester Martinez. Is it next? Yeah, it's next week. Yeah. I knew he was fighting. It was coming up. I wasn't sure if it was the 19th or if it was next week. But yeah. Yeah, my Guatemalan brother. Yeah, man. Ain't he from Ohio too? He from the boxing capital, Ohio, I'm pretty sure. He's on that team with Bomac and Terrence Crawford. I like Lester Martinez. And though my biases is with Billy because Billy's Canadian, I'm Canadian. He represents my country. He's actually from France, but he lives in Canada, represents Canada. So we adopt Billy. We love him. But yeah. We gotta hope that Lester Martinez gets out his fight without a scratch, right? Because even if he gets a bad cut, that fight could be delayed then, man. So we need Lester to come out that fight clean, statement win, and Christian Billy's he's already won his fight, and then we can get that one announced, bro. Shout out to LA. He said fire card, man. My man LA said Dillian White is in trouble. Yo, Moses Tama, he can retire, dude, man. Moses Tama is not a, what I'm saying, he a problem, but all in that same breath, Moses Tama really ain't fought nobody yet. So I mean, we got to see him prove it. And Dillian White is the guy probably to show us where he's at, But even a Dillian White to Martin Bacoli right now, that's still a jump. So I mean, even if he beat Dillian White, he go fight Martin Bacoli next. I gotta respect Moses Atama, man, because that's gonna be a leap. But like, we gotta be honest with ourselves. Martin Bacoli, he ain't looked the same since he won that Jared Anderson fight. And you gotta wonder now, has the little bit of money he got into his head? He on silk sheets now. He not working hard. I don't know, man. We'll see. Shout out to Hugo. He said he fights Diambe that beat the bully. Oh, he beat Beck the bully? Diambe? Yeah, no, Beck the bully, he's good for the division too. I like him. He got that good win against Darius Fulgram. That was a good win for Beck. I think it made him the WBA, I want to say interim or mandatory. I'm not too sure, man. WBA got too many belts. But yeah, I definitely think Lester Martinez is the problem, man. I'm not gonna front. That's gonna be a tough fight for him, Billy. But I think that's gonna be a good action fight. It's gonna be one of those you know what I'm saying, the gunslinger fights, man. They gonna come out swinging, and whoever get caught first probably gonna get hurt and get stopped. It's gonna be good while it lasts, as we say. But nonetheless, we gotta love fights like that, man. I think that and Billy is good for boxing. Lester Martinez, the same thing. Those guys are great for boxing. I just think at the same time, we'll see, man. We'll see what goes down. He said you watching Catterall versus Eubank? Nah, I don't think so. I don't even know who's on the card, really. Let me take a look at it, man. Is there anybody we know? What I realized about the Eubank is that I think he's the cousin of Chris. It's crazy, bro, because they not even like showing their cousin love, man. They not even showing up to the presser, showing love like that. Cordina, okay, Cordina's back. Yaz versus Murphy. Okay. Yeah, I don't know these dudes, but I mean, if I got nothing else to do, I'll watch it. But I think there's a big baseball tournament my son got to go to. He not playing in it, but he got to volunteer at it. Shout out to them, man, making the kids work. But yeah, I don't know, man. Pat Brown, Joe Cordina, yeah, I saw him on there. Pat Brown, is he Pat Brown the Olympian that just signed with them? Scott Nicholson. Okay, so she's making her return since her loss. Is she? She said she was going up in weight. Apparently, I don't know. Scott Nicholson. I never thought she was that great. It's the only names I know. Yeah, it's to me it's a mid card, but I mean, yeah, I'll watch it if I got nothing else to do. Like I said, maybe I'll go live. I'm sure Doc will go live. Dr. Box, he'll probably be live for it. If not, I'll pull up on him. You know, he always goes live for the fights. David finally got a fight, man. I think shit got real for him once he realized he couldn't get Callum. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think PBC was trying to get that fight done. I think what happened was it was a money thing. I think Callum Smith has a certain price, and the PBC probably couldn't meet it. And I mean, they probably could have met it, but then you forfeit the rest of the card, right? Or David Benavidez got to take less money, you know, from his check to pay Callum. You know, I just don't know if that's an option when Turkey Al-Shi coming like, yo, you can come over here and fight on the undercard and make more money. You know what I'm saying? And I'm fine with that, bro. Do what you got to do. He said, PBC looking weak. Nah, man. We as much as people like to get on the PBC fanboys and PBC this, we still need PBC in boxing, yo. We need the promoters, you know, because what's gonna happen if they start leaving, we only gonna be left with Turkey Al-Sheikh, man, which it will be a monopoly. So we still need those other guys regardless. We need their shows. Like the 19th one that PBC got is a good card. I like it. You know, Tim Tszyu versus Pandora 2 on the undercard. Figueroa is on it. Isaac Cruz versus Piero rematch. I don't know how y'all see the first one. That one was dope, man. I didn't even care that. I thought it was a draw, to be honest. But they gave it to Pitbull Cruz, but I thought it was a draw. And them two dudes, they was punching the hell out of each other. That shit made me hurt, bro. Like watching the screen. But those two guys are fighting. I know the kid from Canada who signed the Mayweather Promotions. I don't think it'll be televised, but Joseph Brown is fighting. Yeah. And then Gary Russell Jr. I think he's making a comeback on the prelims. So I mean, they got some names on that one for sure. On that next PBC one, it's good. But we'll see what the August one looks like. Tank Davis card. Hopefully they can stack it up too. I think Cool Boy Fulton and Oshaki Foster were scheduled to be on that one, or talked about to be on that one. But we still haven't got it. I don't know. Has it been announced? I thought I saw something today. Somebody said it got announced. I wasn't really paying too much attention into it. But they gotta announce that fight soon, man. I mean, I don't know. I just want to know where or when it's happening. Maybe it's not happening August 16th. Maybe it's happening somewhere else, you know. We'll see, man. Oh, shoot. I just went online and saw Lubin's calling out Virgil Ortiz. What y'all think about that fight? I don't know why Lubin's calling out Virgil for. But hey, I like it. I like it. I would like Lubin to do that because Lubin needs fights, bro. That's another dude who's with the PBC who's not fighting. It's crazy, man. But yeah, if y'all just jumped in, or if y'all on X, man, make sure y'all share, repost, and smash that, yo. Smash that like button like Ann Wolf. Yo.
Really fight her. Oh, big right. One punch. That is it. Forget about the count. It is over.
Yeah, y'all know what it is, man. Shout out to my dude LA. He said what? Saudi. Something about Saudi there. He said he turned down Callum in Saudi 6 months ago just to turn back around and go to Saudi for Yarde. Yo. Yo, it's kind of funny because, like, after his fight against Morrell, he said he was loyal to the PBC, going to do Las Vegas fights. He's not going to Saudi. And I'm fine with David Benavidez making this move. You know what I'm saying? Because he's making a move for himself and his family. You know what I'm saying? He's putting his ego aside. He's not letting himself be used by the PBC. You know what I'm saying? If you can make more money over here, man, why the heck would I go over here and fight for less? The company, they going to be there regardless, man. You just a number. You just a fighter. They going to have a new guy next week. They going to have another guy on the other day. You got to get the most while you here. So I'm happy Benavidez, put the ego down for a second, which is hard for boxers to do, and say, yo, I'm going to go over the Riyadh season, make this money, get this win. From what I'm hearing, it's one fight, so it's not a multi-fight deal. One fight deal with Turki Al-Sheikh. Go over here, do this, and maybe we revisit Riyadh season later on. You know what I'm saying? He said, Brian Mendoza. He fights today on a Mexican boxing card. Oh, okay, Brian Mendoza. Yeah, he's the guy who knocked out Sebastian Fedora. Nah, yeah, Mendoza's a good he's a good little test. He fought Tim Tszyu. Tough fight for Tim Tszyu, but Tim Tszyu beat him. He said, LA said, I agree. I want to know what Samson has to say on the matter. Yeah, Samson, man. He just he making some guys look crazy out here. Making some guys look crazy. And they believe in him, and that's good, man. That you allowed to do that. But I just think Samson, the fighters also gotta be like, yo, man, I pay you to do a job. You know what I'm saying? Don't bring less money to the table. Like, that's crazy. Like, if you bringing me less money, you literally the complete opposite of being a manager. You're doing me bad. Like, you should be bringing me the most lucrative fights at this point here on out, bro. No matter where it's coming from. Because I'm David Benavidez. I'm the Mexican monster. Like, we go places and beat people, bro. That's what we do. But these guys are too much into the whole networking thing, the whole banner thing. They just gotta drop their egos, man. And David Benavidez did that. That's what it sounded like to me. This was a call made by David Benavidez, bro. Not Samson, not the PBC, not Louis DeCubas. Maybe Louis DeCubas had a talk in with it, but he seems to be a guy who's moving his fighters over to Turki Al-Sheikh more. He's moving guys around a bit with the PBC, with him at the helm now. So maybe it had to do with him, but David Benavidez did the right thing in my opinion. Instead of taking or not getting a fight in September, making sure you're locking in the date in November, knowing that, hey, man, we're going to be fighting in November in Riyadh. Got plenty of time to prepare for myself mentally, physically, all that stuff, bro. Shout out to my guy Thomas Hill in the building. My guy Ryan Fraser, my brother from up yonder, man. Yo, what's going on, Thomas? Hope you're having a good 4th of July, my brother, out there. Yeah, LA said maybe he did like Spence with Crawford and put his foot down and said, no, I'm going. Yeah. And I hope he did. I hope he did because that's what you got to do as fighters, man. You got to really show the promoters, show the managers, everybody who's involved, that you got to remind them sometimes, bro. Like, you work for me. Like, I'm the fighter, bro. I'm gonna go in there. I'm the entertainment factor. I'm the Mexican monster. People like to see me fight. So don't put me in no BS fights, man. Don't let people put slander on my name. So, I mean, if it's Callum Smith or Anthony Yarde, whichever one's the best price, man, get me in the ring with them. And if it's in Riyadh, you got to go to Riyadh and do it. Then you got to go to Riyadh and do it. That's what it is. Like, you're a world champ, bro. Go conquer the world, man. Shout out to my dude, Malcolm. What's going on, brother? Happy 4th of July, brother. Hope everything's good, man. Hope you're doing good, brother. But yeah, I dropped a link in the chat, y'all. If y'all want to pop in, I don't know if it's still there. Maybe I gotta drop it again. I started, but yeah, man, talk that boxing. What y'all think about the proposed possible undercard, of this November? Lester Martinez and Billy, Raymond Morataya versus Andy Cruz. Andy Cruz can get his first title, and Moses Atama and Martin Bacoli. This is the rumor undercard, bro. Not the main card, the undercard. Like, this is wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got guys like Moses Atama and Bacoli. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, Raymond Morataya, who has a title, and Andy Cruz. If Andy Cruz could beat Morataya, he peeking up on Keyshawn, man. And he's another dude who can possibly unify at 35 and even move up to 40 and contend. Andy Cruz is on a mission. We'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see what goes down. Shout out to Thomas Hill. He said it could be, but the PBC hasn't forbidden one fighter from going to other networks to get their bread. Yeah, maybe other faction have, but not them. Yeah, they are not a promotional company, but an advisory entity, and that's why they get around the way they do, man. Because technically, they're not a promoter. I think they use TGB Promotions. They use TGB Promotions to do the shows. And yeah, you're right. They're an advisory company. So they do take money from the fighters for advising them, right? And promote them, essentially. So they kind of, Al's found a loophole in the Muhammad Ali Act, essentially. Yeah, TGB. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, they use them. And yeah, it's interesting how they've maneuvered. But like, if you look at Turkey Al Sheikh's method to the madness, is kind of the same thing in a way. It's mimicked. He mimicked Al Heyman, essentially. And it happens all the time, man. People always mimic people who have done great things. It's just a part of the human nature. It's just, you gotta find a way to do it better than them. LA said, who do you think the main? I think it will be Haney and Norman. I think they'll be the main. But like I said earlier, I'm not concerned if it's Benavidez or Yarde. I don't really care, man. Who's the main? This card is so good. You know what I'm saying? It's got a bunch of mains on it, to be honest. But I think Haney and Norman, they kind of started it. So, they were the first announced. So go ahead and give them the helm and everything that fell underneath. Yeah. Add it up. He said Moses and Bacoli. Yeah, that's what's rumored. It should have Tama beat Dillian White on August 19th. Then yeah, Bacoli, man. Shout out to Thomas Hill. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Yep. Yeah, man. David working with Turkey opens up so much. Yeah, man. I'm a big fan of that. Like, Turkey Al Sheikh, him working with them. Like, I think it's good for David. Even though I heard it's only a one fight. That's all right, man. That's all right. One fight, show the world that you're willing to work with this guy, because we know the potential fights. We know who they are. Better be Evan Bivol, man. Those are the fights we want to see as fans of that whole division. I'm sorry. I think David Benavidez beats everybody in that division except for those two guys. And that's why I want to see those fights, man. That's why I want to see them, man. I know, but I did venture their way slightly. And I just wanted to add that many of their fighters have ventured to the seas. Yeah, man. Yeah. But I like PBC, man. Shout out to my man Scotia Boxing for reposting the stream, bro. I appreciate that. You trying to get more people in here. And thanks for that, brother. Make sure y'all share the stream so we can get more voices in here, get more chatters, and all that nice stuff, man. Shout out to Frontline in the building, man. He said, Ryan Chat fan, what's going on, man? From PR, eh? That's a shout out to Frontline, man, from PR. I appreciate you, brother. Y'all got one coming up, man, this month too. Is Sanders Ayaz. and Sabril Matias. Yo, both guys got big fights. Puerto Rico could potentially have 2 more champs at the end of July, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Puerto Rico's coming back. You know, shout out to Edgar too. Edgar's fight, y'all got 3. Y'all got 3, and then I mean Shakur Stevenson, I count him because isn't his dad Puerto Rican, so I count him. I don't know if y'all count Shakur Stevenson, but y'all got 4 Puerto Ricans fighting this month. It's a busy month for y'all. Shout out to LA. He said, oh shoot, and Amanda. I forget the first lady, man. Y'all got 5. Yo, it's a Puerto Rican month, yo, for real. Y'all got Amanda, Sabril, Edgar, Shakur Stevenson, and I'm missing one. Sanders Ayas. Yeah, man. It's gonna be a busy month for y'all. Shout out to LA. He said Boots and Virgil would be unreal, but it's doubtful. Yeah, it sounds like Virgil Ortiz, he's got a hand injury. And then they're saying like the timeline of when he's gonna be healed essentially would lead him right into a training camp, which I don't know about y'all, man, but against Boots Ennis, I don't want to be testing my hand against Boots Ennis, bro. I just don't think he's the right guy to test your hand against. So I'm sure that Mr. Virgil Ortiz and Oscar De La Hoya will be finding a tune-up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Coach Eddie, man, in the building. What's going on, my brother? Salute. He said Edgar going to sleep. Shout out to Coach Eddie. You picking Hamza Sharad? Yeah, I like. Yo, honestly, I've been kind of back and forth, but like my man Kevin was in here. I told him I just don't think that Edgar's of that level, of high level, and I think Hamza Shiraz will be able to stay away from that power, and we'll get a decision win. I think so. Shout out to Frontline. He said tune in Tuesday. We got Crystal Rosado and Elise Soto. Oh, is that the card in Orlando? The Box Lab card? I think I saw Amanda promoting that, but I thought it was before their weigh-in or something like that. Yeah, man. Yeah, I thought that was before their weigh-in. But shout out to them, yo. Aren't those 2 girls signed to Amanda's promotional? Shout out to Amanda Seriano, man. She's doing her thing, but see, Alicia Baumgartner, they said she got a stake in MVP with her deal. Like she got a stake in the company. So I wonder if Amanda got that same deal and how her stake is probably big. You know what I'm saying? Because she's the first lady, essentially. And shout out to Jake Paul because he backing her for real. And yeah, man. Yo, shout out to Frontline. He said now they fighting in NY. Oh, okay. That's what's up. You know, on Tuesday, okay. I think I saw something about the ring. The ring is also doing something out there in NY too, but I don't think it's on a Tuesday. They doing like a big like Box Raw sponsored event. I know a couple guys who are like sparring in it. It's like a sparring thing, open sparring. But anyways, yeah, I'm sure New York is gonna be popping this week. Like I live in Toronto, so it's probably like a 8-hour drive, which is like not much considering I drive to Florida every year with my family, 21 hours. So like I could probably make the drive to New York, but I just know once I get to New York, it's gonna be crazy. Like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. No, New York's Alberto, what's going on, my brother? Hey, come on, champ. We boycotting MVP promotions. Jake Paul called and gave Ice the tip on Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Yo, man, you right, bro. Jake Paul was like, yo.
Oh, look at this guy.
He can't run away with the money, yo. We got to get that check back for all them tickets we didn't sell. Yeah, man. Yeah, that was wild, man. But I mean, I've always felt like people have said Senior was always had not mob ties, but cartel ties. So I don't know why we would think that Junior wouldn't, but I get it, yo. It's I don't know, man. It's crazy world y'all living in, bro. Ice, like it's crazy to me because like we don't even have something like that in Canada, like a crew who just goes around deporting people. Like I'm sure people get deported in Canada, but I feel like you gotta almost commit a crime. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be caught by the police. Like, there's not a unit out here just breaking in doors and coming with papers. So shout out to y'all, man. Yo, shout out to y'all, man. Yeah. He said, LA said, have you heard any UTO news lately? Nah, man. Honestly, but I ain't heard nothing since Tio was on the Boxing Voice and we was talking with him, and bro, he dropped the ball in the Haney fight, man. Even though it sounded like Turkey offered him less money, you know, and Turkey never came out and said Tio was a liar. So that's why I'm kind of like, maybe it was less money. But he said he was offered less money for the Haney fight. But yeah, now look at him. Now he ain't even got a fight. So it's like, shoot, I mean, he was probably in a situation where he probably only had to take that fight. But hey, it is what it is. Shout out to Alberto. He said Jake even said Canelo next. Yeah. I'm gonna try to deport Canelo, bro, on September 13th when he fighting in Vegas. Nah, man. See Ice run up in the Legion Stadium. That'd be crazy, man. After Turkey Al-Shi give him that big check, yo. Shout out to Coach Eddie. He said, I give Yarde a real shot against Benavidez. Oh, for real, man? I don't know, man. I just think like Anthony Yarde, he ain't really got like a win that can make me think he can even hurt Benavidez. You know, his last fight was Lyndon Arthur. You know, Lyndon Arthur, he got bashed around by but Bivol. I don't know, man. I just think Yarde, he just hasn't hit that next level, like elite level. I think Yarde's a good fighter, man. I think he's very strong, got good resistance. He's gonna provide that for David. I think he'll provide resistance like Morrell did. But I don't know. He might be stronger than Morrell though, Yarde. So who knows? Yeah, maybe he hits David. I mean, David, technically got dropped. So some people say it wasn't a drop, but he got dropped by Morrell. I don't know, man. We'll see. We gotta watch the fights. It's Riyadh season. You know, Riyadh season always gives us one upset. So that might be the one, man. That might be the one. Tio Sr. was wilding in the background. Yo, trust me, yeah. That was funny, bro. He was wilding, bro. He was wilding, man. And then, I mean, Tio just went off the rails, too, talking about he can sweep 154, man. I'm like, dude, no, you can't. Like, don't, Tio, like, just stop talking there, brother. Like, you're at 40. You got really good fights in your own division at 40. You know, you got Rayo, you got Gary, you got Pollo, you got Sabril, you got Hitchens. You got names in your own division. You know, 47, you can go on up. But, you know, I take care of those guys right there at 40. I mean, you got good fights right there. That could be worth $10 million, what you wanted. Shout out to Frontline. He said he was offered a 3-fight contract for a total amount, whatever it was. Strictly only obligation is to make sure 2 gets the total amount. Yeah. At the end of the 3rd fight. So Tio's just soft. Yeah, for real. Nah, that's true, bro. Because, I mean, what Turkey could have did was said, yo, I'm giving you a low one here, and then the 3rd one gonna be big. Yeah, it gonna equal your amount, what you wanted. Yeah, that's true, man. But you know, Tio felt like, I guess he felt like he deserved to get whatever was said. But yeah, it looks like a big fumble right now because the 2 guys he didn't want to fight, or I shouldn't say want to fight, but like he had fights with Haney and fights with Norman lined up. He said no to both of those. And now those 2 guys are being celebrated for fighting because they're taking the fights against each other. And they're going to be the main event, essentially. I think so. And they're probably going to make more money than Tio. You know, so Tio's the odd man out again, but, you know, he did say he's standing for something. So we'll see where he lands next. I don't know if him saying no to that fight means he's done with the Turkey deal. I don't know how they work, but you could best believe that, you know, he's gonna be in a tough fight next. I hope he's not gonna pick some random person to fight, man, because like all your contemporaries, you know, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, you know, Tank Davis in a tough fight with Lamar Roach, obviously. they all fighting tough fights now. These guys, they in the ringer. You had that opportunity. You know, you beat Barboza. I thought you had the best performance on that ring card in Times Square. And then you get an opportunity to fight Devin Haney, who didn't really have a good performance, but you can go in here now, beat Devin Haney, be known as the guy who beat Devin Haney, and start to erase some of the things you've done in the past. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. Shout out to LA. He said Teo basically pulling a Triller 2.0 all over again. And he wonders why he's not getting his worth. Yeah, man. It's crazy. Yeah, nah, Teo, yeah, man. He gotta deal with it differently. Shout out my guy Ray Davis in the building. Said salute Ryan Fraser. You've been busy today. See you everywhere. Yeah, man. Yeah. Grinding today, man. Spent a little bit of time TBV this morning. Pretty sure I checked in with Blue this afternoon. Shout out to Blue Blood Sports. My man always talking that real boxing. Shout out to him, man. Yeah, just been checking in with everybody. You know how it is. Ray Davis. We a community out here. I look at it. We out here doing things for boxing. So I'm always gonna check in with the guys, man, and make sure they get their like from me and they watch time, bro. Support them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, shout out to all of y'all, man, for supporting and reposting the stream as well on X. I really appreciate it, man. Y'all good people, man. Bring up my guy Malcolm in here. What's going on, brother?
Yo, the audio's good?
Yeah. The audio's good.
Yo, shout outs to you, Ryan. Shout outs to the Boxing Up North community. Yeah, this is really my first time calling into your show, bro. I'm an overnighter. You know what I'm saying? And it's 7 right now. I really couldn't sleep too, and I'm looking and I'm like, oh, my boy on. But this is
Yeah.
replay gang. I'll tell you, I think I told you this before. I tell everybody else this. If you don't catch me on the lives, man, I always catch the replays. I try to drop the likes. I got you, bro.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, so I see we're kind of all over the place. I was trying to, but I like it. We all over. I wanted to say
we
something
talking
about
boxing.
Teo.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Hey, let me talk Teo first, bro. Him not taking the turkey offer, it would never make any kind of sense to me because I believe they said the original offer was, it was for the Boots fight. I think it was like 11 mil or 11 and a half. It was somewhere around that range.
Yeah,
And then
that's what he
allegedly,
said. Yeah.
yeah, and then there was shorter money for Dev. So if it was 11, I think it was supposed to be like 7.5 or maybe 7 mil. But that's the thing with Teo. It's like, bro, you're always complaining about money, and that should be his highest payday to date, correct?
Yeah, it'd probably be his second. I think the Times Square was 10, but still, like, yeah, you're right, bro. Like, he's still way up now than what he was.
Oh, wait a minute. He made 10 against Barboza?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his deal is like 10, 10, 10 or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but you see, we need that confirmed. Like, we would need not even the 10, 10, 10. Like, we would need it confirmed that he was getting less against
Right.
Devin, if they were gonna fight.
Right.
Because ironically, once it comes to Devin, Teo just has all these excuses in the world. And that's what frustrates me because I think he's a solid fighter. I love his hand speed in the ring. He's flashy, he's very entertaining, good foot speed. His countering is out of this world, especially off his last performance. But Devin is just a nightmare. This is a guy who uses his range, he uses his jab. That's a nightmare style. And especially if Devin's gonna fight going backwards. I feel like at a certain point in time when Devin was really coming forward and he was trying to really sit on his shots a little more, like around Regis, he probably would have had or maybe around the Loma fight, Teo would have probably had a little more success. But as of now, nah, and somebody, I think it was on Twitter, I seen this post and somebody had a great angle. What's to say? Oh, I think it was Punch Drunk. The figures it would be him. But what's to say now if Devin gets this he gets it approved to get the lineal championship against Norman? What's the excuse for Teo to not fight him now? That was your bread and butter to fight Boots. You wanted the lineal. You got 2 lineal championships already. To fight Devin for that third lineal, it makes all the sense in the world. Like, You get me? Like now,
Nah,
I
for
didn't think
real.
about it.
Nah, man, I do agree with that, but Tio, yeah, he's always shot himself in the foot because he's always made it about money, and then now you making big money. So like, why are you complaining? Like,
Yeah, it's weird, man. And you said something about the random names. I read somewhere, and you see, this is why there's so many people all over Twitter. I heard, listen, I heard a little, whisper in the wind about a Elvis, like him getting an Elvis fight,
Elvis
and I'm like,
Rodriguez.
what? Yeah, that's what I heard, and I'm like, damn. I think it was Tone who said that, but I hope that's not true, bro. Like, I really hope that's not true because he's taking steps backwards, man. But yeah, it's just a waste. So I'm just curious on his next move. I definitely don't like the stuff that he does outside of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But inside of the ring, I'm a fan of Tio. I like how he fights, except when he can't cut off the ring.
Word.
You know.
Word.
Yeah. Damn, there was something. I think you said something about Berlanga too that I wanted to chime in. I have him stopping Shiraz, by the way. I'm hoping he knocks him out. Like
You got him.
I don't.
Shiraz.
Yeah, It's just It was when I seen the Ammo fight. I seen his chin. And he just got hurt 2 times by a guy who wasn't even, Ammo's not really a known power puncher like that. That just told me everything, Like I seen it and it gave me flashes of like an Amir Khan or of Prince Nassim Ahmed. Like just in terms of that chin. That's what I've seen personally. I always thought Shiraz was just hype. He's never impressed me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say he like special. I'm not gonna say that. But I mean that Carlos Adames fight showed me something. If his hand was really broken, he survived. With a broken hand against Carlos Adames.
But that's the thing. He said something about his hand, and then also it was the weight too. Like it was just two separate things. And no fighter comes into a fight 100%.
Nah,
and you've trained before, correct?
Yeah.
So come on, you kind of know how it is,
Nah, no, everybody's coming in banged up. Yeah.
So his excuse, it's kind of like, and I just want Berlanga to just spark him out. I don't want the whole Shiraz versus Canelo. I'm not interested in that fight. Nah, I'm not at all, bro.
UK Stadium.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not all for that fight. I'm not at all, bro. And yeah, it's like it's a good thing we're talking about David Benavidez too, because I feel like David. And I chatted this. It opens up so many things. Like, you got David versus Yarde. I have Yarde getting stopped. Yes, he's a strong guy. After seeing that Lyndon Arthur fight, that told me everything. So I could comfortably bet on a stoppage. But
real. Wait, man.
Yeah,
wait. Yo, Benavidez, who he stopped at 75 though.
You're right. Hey, listen, you got a point. Yeah, because I feel like the size starts to matter. Yeah, his biggest advantage at 168 was him being the bigger fighter, and he's gonna overwhelm you. Right. But I don't think Anthony Yarde is gonna pose too much of an issue. I mean, he's strong.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he's not going.
It's just he's not. Yeah, he's kind of not who he was.
He's not
at
dangerous.
A certain point.
I mean, he could land a shot and change the fight, but I just think he's too he's like AJ, he's too robotic, man.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, man.
Shout out to Frontline. He said Teofimo Lopez made $3 million for Sparboza.
Oh, that's nasty. Yeah, he definitely should have took that Devin fight.
Yeah, then that's like double his money. Yeah, you're like this guy's wilding, man. Shout out to Half Boxing. Yo, brother, you won the glove, man. You gotta get your email Half Boxing or something. You gotta link up.
But I wanted to say, bro. So with the Benavidez thing, I was just thinking about the options. So I get it's only like a 1-fight deal, and it was definitely on Benavidez because he was the one that made the comment talking about, we want to fight in America. But it Las really Vegas, opens up
he said that.
Yeah, it opens up the possibility of getting a Canelo fight now. Like let's just say after this fight, he can't get let's say Bevo beats Better Beef and he can't get that winner. He probably has the option now, which I wouldn't even recommend, to go up and fight like a Apataya, or Possibly even a
Sure
better
though.
beef, but I don't know if you want to get a better beef off of a loss because you just got these guys now who are also with Turkey. You know, let's just say Canelo beats Bud and then somehow, hey, I got the back for you. Boom, you can
Mhm.
get the Canelo fight. If Canelo
Yeah.
loses, shout out to my boy Bud. We picking Bud over on this side, man. But if
Yeah.
um if Canelo loses, I feel like Canelo could always get Chris Eubank, whether Chris Eubank wins or loses against Conor Ben, because that's still a UK thing, and that's assuming that the Shiraz fight falls apart and Berlanga
Like
wins.
Berlanga wins. Yeah, yeah.
You know, yeah, because he's beating Eubank, win or loss, like he's gonna beat that guy. So you know, Canelo will have options to bounce back, and I feel like that fight would still be on the table. And
Right.
all he got to do is hold down, you know, the forefront at 175.
Yeah, man.
So I love it, man. It's just, you know, there's a lot of possibilities. I'm happy that he's doing it. Uh, we just need Tank on board, bro. You know, that's all we need. All we need is Tank, come home, bro. You
Nah,
know,
he
take a little
alone,
vacay.
bro. We gonna leave Tank alone. I'm gonna leave Tank alone. I'm not asking him for nothing no more. He ain't give me nothing I want. I'm done asking
Nah,
Tank.
I just want that Shakur fight because it's meaningful for 135. That's all I want. I just need him and Shakur to mix it up.
Got some new
You
blood
know,
at 35. You know, Mason, Andy
yeah,
Cruz.
Abdullah
They can mix it
Mason.
up.
Yeah. Oh, what's your thoughts on that sparring footage, man? With Abdullah
Uh,
and Kid Austin.
hold on. I'm gonna go through the chat right quick. Shout out to Frontline. He said Tio ended up making 10 mil on the back end of all the deals, I guess. Okay. So he made 10 mil. All right. Shout out to my guy Mo Brains in the building. So what's up, man? What's up, chat? Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Cal Snipes. What's going on, man? So just subscribe. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Just like that, you gonna get a little bit of drizzy, bro. While you
I want my chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.
yeah, man. Bring them dips. Who else we got in here? Jeez. Got a lot of people in here. Everybody showing up now. Y'all got fireworks going on. Shout out to Z Pacino. He said, same here, Malcolm, but he's an underrated fighter. He must be talking about Yarde, maybe. Berlanga gonna sleep Shiraz, Frontline said. Shout out to Kendrick, man, the building. LA said Yarde can counterpunch. That's his best bet. Yeah, landing something crazy. That's his best bet. But
I think body
Benavidez.
work too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't even think about
Body
that.
work.
Nobody really go to Benavidez' body because
Yeah,
you're gonna
he
give
and
up shots, right? You're gonna give up something.
yeah, but
Shout
I
out to
mean,
Ray
yeah, it's
Davis.
just
He
my
said,
bad, man. Go on, go on.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through these. He said Teal can only fight from a defensive position, smart counters and semi-aggressive, but he needs fighters to press in front of him. Barboza is slow and one-dimensional. Yeah, that's true, though. He does, man. Coach Eddie ATL, salute. What's going on, brother? Ray Davis, salute, fam. Thomas Hill saying. Mo Brain said if Canelo wasn't gonna fight David at 68 before, he definitely ain't fighting him at 75. No, that's a fact. He'd have to bring David back down. That's the plan. They gotta win, man. Yeah, Edgar Berlanga gotta win. And shout out to my guy Ray Davis becoming a member, bro. Rocking it. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Man, Frontline, he said Merla Tired's about to sleep. Andy, what? Yo, that's crazy. Shout out to my dude, and McQueen. He said love Yarde, but history suggests he fades again. Yeah, that gas tank's crazy, man. Yeah, my bad, Malcolm. We all good now. You gonna say,
Nah,
man?
you good, bro. You good, man. You got to read the chat. Shout out to the whole community.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, he said it. Andy Cruz is losing.
Yeah, he said Mother
That's what he
Tire
just said.
gonna
He's getting
start
slapped.
the front line. He said Mother Tire gonna sleep Andy. Yo, Mother Tire could punch though.
Yeah, he can, man. And Andy Cruz is hasn't he been dropped already? I don't think it was his last fight. It was a fight prior.
Yeah, Moran. Yeah, he was on wobbly legs for sure. He was on Bambi legs.
Yeah, but I can't front, man. I like Andy Cruz. But yeah, you know, he calls out Keyshawn a lot for clout. But when I watch him, I love his hand speed. I love his punch variation. He's just missing
Real,
that
for
top
real.
level opposition. So that might be the reason why I would edge on Mutataya in the fight. I'm big on experience. I will
Right.
always edge, the fighter with more experience over, whoever has the most experience. I'm gonna normally edge them unless they look like they aged out. That's kind of why I was on the fence with the Kid Austin fight.
Right.
But
Nah,
yeah,
I think
damn.
most of us was. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet on the knockout too.
Oh, damn. On Kid?
I bet. Yeah, but then I got greedy, and I also try to parlay a Jake Paul knockout. Thank you, Jake Paul. He ruined everything, bro. Like he cooked my whole parlay. Yeah, I was pissed, bro.
My man bet on Jake Paul to get a knockout. That's crazy.
Yeah, hey man,
Jake
I
Paul.
was going for gusto, bro.
Yeah, man. Nah, man. Yo, and McQueen, yeah, yo. Andy Cruz did recover well, and I think he got the stoppage like 2 rounds later. He stopped Moran, which is good. He said, I don't think
Yeah,
it's
so let me see.
clout.
He gets.
I believe he truly wants to fight. Oh, okay.
He'll get that strap. Abdullah and Noakes is for the WBO, right?
Yeah.
Because that Keyshawn just dropped that. Okay.
Yep.
Damn, I like how 135 shaping up, man.
Nah, we
It's
gonna
looking
get some
pretty
new
good.
blood. Some new blood. Frontline said Andy has the Cuban style, but no punching power. Good forward, but he gasses in later rounds. Yeah, I like Andy Cruz in the pro style though. He's actually sitting down trying to fight. He didn't bring the amateur style with him really. Ray couldn't knock out Tevin. Oh, I got Andy Cruz. Z Pacino says
Oh,
that's
damn.
true. He didn't knock out Tev. Shout out to Thomas Hill. He says no NDAs allowed on parlays.
That's
LA
nasty.
said Mulataya versus Cruz is mid off. Mulataya ain't it. Oh man.
I agree.
Oh, you agree, man? You don't think
Nah, I
Mulataya?
don't think Murataya's all that. Nah, I seen. Nah, bro. Like I felt like he was just like he could punch, but he just doesn't seem too special to me. It's just
Yeah, I
something.
like
How there's certain. Go on, my bad.
I like him, but I think like Andy Cruz is special. I'm not gonna say like Lomachenko special, but like he definitely deserves to be fast tracked for sure.
Yeah, for me, and most of the Cubans that have a high level amateur experience and they've won those medals, they show something to me. Like they have this kind of like special thing going on. Probably the least of an exception was probably my boy Luis Ortiz.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cuban. Yep.
Because he let us down. Yeah, but
Heavyweight,
he was
yeah.
still solid for a heavyweight. I wanted to get to the Bacoli shit in the Tama. That
Yeah,
is a
with
fight.
Tama. Yeah, what do you think about that, man? Too soon?
Not okay. I don't know if I get killed for this, man. Listen, man, Bacoli might have just been a hype job or had like a fluke.
Hey, you could be
He was
right.
a he was a late replacement for Anderson. We criticize Anderson a lot. I was one of those that I've always felt mentally he wasn't locked in.
Mhm.
Like he just, especially with the Roy Jones interview. I don't know if you've seen Prentice Brewer. I think that's his coach's name, right? No,
Yeah,
is
that's
that his name?
I
Yeah,
think yeah, still his coach. Yeah.
I think that
Yeah,
was him.
Prentice
Yeah, okay.
Brewer.
I thought
Yep.
I got him confused with someone else. It was him, and he was on Johnny's show, and Johnny also brought up the same thing about the mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think Prentice also said the same thing. It's not like any physical traits with him with Jared Anderson that's wrong. It's more of a mental aspect, and I feel like those hurdles are like very hard to come over. So Bacoli got the job done with that. After that, he failed against I think it was Parker. He was like a last minute replacement.
Yeah, that was really last minute. Yeah. And then his other fight though with FA, the draw. Is that where you were
Yeah,
like his hype job?
he just looks sloppy. Yeah, the guy's overweight and he's a big guy. He can punch. I'll give him that, but it just didn't age well. And then you got like a Anderson.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try to take away any credit from him. But other than his punching power, like I don't see anything that's too special. A time I watch him fight, and I'm not gonna lie, I feel like of all the prospects in boxing today, obviously Carmel Moulton's in that mix. I feel like Atama has the highest ceiling for heavyweight. Like his hand speed is amazing, his punch placement, his power, everything about him is sharp. All he's really missing is those big names, you know. So I think Bacoli's the right one. As long as he stays defensively sound, you know, he doesn't get a little too reckless.
Right.
And then we'll really see what his chin is like if he could crack one of those shots, because all these heavyweights is punching, but this is a good step up. Everybody else is. Somebody said for him to get Joe Parker, and I'm like, nah, y'all wilding. Like they just trying to throw him in the deep end. But
that's a bit too soon.
yeah, they was trying to throw that man in the deep end, but I like it. I think it's the perfect step up. The boogeyman thing is kind of fading off. He could be the last one, and he could just put this man out, and then they'll do something else with Bacoli.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They might have moved him too fast, in my opinion. He is number 1 in the BO now. So if they call his name, he got to fight Usyk, man, or Dubois, whoever wins. And I just don't think he's ready for that. He's not ready, but like, we'll see, man. We'll see where he goes, because like you said, he got to fight names. The heavyweight division, it's a scary division, because all it takes is one punch to change the entire fight. Some dudes' careers get changed. Like we watch, you know what I'm saying? We watched the demise of Wilder, man. We watched that shit.
Yeah.
And
that's why I don't got go on. Yeah.
And like I'd hate to have Moses get in a fight like a gunfire fight too early, and he gets hurt like that, and he just never recovers. And then now we talk about what could have been the best heavyweight, you know what I'm saying? Instead of one of the best, man. Shout out to my guy Ant McQueen in the building. What's going on, brother?
Man, they lighting it up out here.
What up, Ant?
Happy 4th of July, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Crazy. It's my little guy's birthday. He just turned 7, so every time he gets to see the fireworks, he feels like it's for him.
Oh man, that's great, man. Congratulations to the little man.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. I think Bacoli is good. He can fight. He's dangerous. The dude is just lazy, though, man. He's just lazy. He's just lazy. You see the weight that he's coming in, like over 300 plus pounds. The fight with Ajagba, I thought Ajagba got a raw deal. He clearly did the better work. And Bacoli was trying to employ this dude to just stand in the middle of the ring, because he didn't want to have to cut the ring off. And it's not like Ajagba was running, because he was out there moving with purpose. He moved, piece him up real quick, move, piece him up. He was just utilizing good footwork. Some of the best footwork I've seen from Ajagba. I didn't even know that the guy could move like that, honestly. Because when he first came on the scene, he was very rigid. You know what I mean? He didn't really have a lot of fluidity, no wiggle to his game whatsoever. He was just very stiff and stationary. But Bacoli, you know, once again, his conditioning failed him in that fight. He just let him down completely, because it was the moment where he actually buzzed Ajagba, but he couldn't step on the gas because he expended all the energy that he had to just get that one little barrage off, and that was it. And I feel like the same thing happened with the Joseph Parker fight, as brief as that fight was. But you've seen he came in heavier for that fight than he did versus Jared Anderson. So
yes, he
did. He's one of them
Yeah.
guys who's just talented, but he's just lazy.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And he made that big bag, man, with Turkey Al Sheikh, so it don't make it any better, you know. You just gotta start making that big money. They ain't got
need
the
to fix
hunger.
that, man. That has to get fixed. Like, I understand you're paying these fighters, but he has to figure something out. Where I'm not gonna say for you to get half your purse. Maybe they pay these guys less, but then the winner gets a certain bonus. They need to do something, because these guys are just gonna get paid and just be satisfied. You know, once you get them silk sheets, it's over. But it's very frustrating, man. And especially once we had that New York card. We see how that New York card went. These guys just
swear. Yeah. They didn't show up, man. They didn't show up.
They showed up to pick up their check. That was it. They showed up, got their check, and then
yeah, they showed up in the cars, man. They pulled out and said, "We gonna get the check tonight." But yeah, man, that was unfortunate. But I think that's why you gotta get the younger guys hungry, right? Like you gotta get them moving. Like I like how Turkey Al Sheik has presented undercard spots for the Canelo and Crawford because it's the big platform, man. And you get the right guys in there, you're gonna have the right fights for sure. Some guys are gonna be hungry to make a name for themselves. You know, you can't just get these big guys already.
Quick question for y'all. With the Lester Martinez fight with you said with Billy, correct?
Yeah.
How did he get? Damn, how's he getting that shot?
Who, Lester?
Because I know he got but I was looking at the rankings. I know he's not like top 10 in the ring, like, which is weird. I think he's number 5 in the WBO. I can't really remember. Or maybe he's like a 9, but he's not really ranked that high. And I know he got a fight with I'm trying to remember homeboy's name. Some French dude.
Yeah, next week, I think.
Yeah, so but I'm just trying to see like how he got lined up because he's good. I'm not Lester punching.
He's in the BC too. He's in the BC rankings. Because like and Billy's got the interim. And then Canelo got the full. But yeah, that's a good fight. That's a great fight. Lester Martinez, Christian, and Billy. That's action, bro.
Yeah, somebody gonna get knocked out. I'm gonna go for Lester, man. My boy on a French tour. He on a French tour right now. 2 French.
Yo, that's gonna be a good fight. Riyadh season.
Man, shout out to Turk.
Nah, man, like this card, like it's shaping. Should this all come to fruition, it's gonna be a mega card to end the year. Like, yeah, how you gonna have? I don't even know who's gonna start the card, man. Where you gonna start the card at? Like, Lester Martinez and Billy.
Damn, and that's the undercard, right? Damn.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it'll probably be in Billy and Lester. And then I feel like they'll put Andy and Mutataya, and then they would have Bacoli in the top. Damn, I don't know. It's just because crazy. Turkey loves heavyweights. That's like, what I'm thinking of.
Raymond and Andy's a title fight. Like a full title fight. Not no interim. They fighting for the IBF title.
Hey, but look what they're doing with the Berlanga fight. Like, there was a whole argument with the Shakur being the headliner because it's for a belt.
Right. That's true. That is true.
That's why, man. And like I was saying, Turkey's biased towards heavyweights. He loves them. You see him giving 132 mil for the Dubois fight with Usyk. Right. He's already said that he's a casual and he loves the heavyweight division and he's trying to bring it back. So I could see him trying to place that a little higher. I don't really care too much about fight orders. And to be honest, I only think that the fight orders matter, like who's headlining and who's not, when it comes to negotiations. That's the only time it should matter. And when we're having like topics about negotiations and talking about cards and building cards, that's the only time it's really going to matter. But other than that, I don't care if you fight third on the card or you're fighting first, last. Doesn't really matter too much to me. But I'm gonna take a seat
Eddie,
back.
Man. Oh, you gonna dip on out, Malcolm?
Yeah, but I'm gonna listen, bro, because I gotta eat, bro. I'm hungry.
I appreciate you, brother.
But hey, shout outs to you, shout outs to the entire panel, man. I'm gonna definitely keep tuning in, bro. Appreciate you. Happy 4th.
Thank you.
Hold down, Malcolm.
Shout out to everybody, man. Z Pacino, he said Turkey should be putting guys like Albert Ramirez, who's ranked in the top in all the sanctioned bodies at 175 on the undercard. If he wins, give him David. I like Albert. I think he's a good fighter, man. Shout out to Real 6. What's going on? He said I got the American accent, bro. You funny. Shout out to LA. He said heavyweight division is hot right now because everybody is taking fights. Yeah, man, that's true. Heavyweight's back. Thomas Hill, he said, I hate on no fights, but will say he has unfortunately been not giving the fighters more value for being in his cards and availability and access to their favorite. He's been slightly compromised Turkey's way. Yeah, man. What's going on, Coach Eddie? What's going on, my guy?
What's going on, brother? This is my first time up on.
Oh, shoot. Sorry about that. Yeah, appreciate you for coming through, man.
Yeah, man. I'm sitting there thinking about the Devin Haney is what's my man Norman, and what's the other guy that just got Yarde and Benavidez got added to that card too, right?
Yep. That's
so
agreed.
Who's the main event?
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't know, man.
Yeah,
we don't know. But I don't care. I think they're both great fights. They both great fights, man. Whoever headline,
yeah. To me personally, I think I would put David and Yarde as the main event, man, and let Devin and Norman be the co-main.
Mm-hmm. You know what? That's not even a bad idea because the UK is kind of closer. The fans would travel for Yarde. I know he's got a big UK following. So yeah, you might be right, man. Turkey Alley Sheik might be thinking about tickets.
Yeah, for sure, man. But that fight really came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting that fight, man. But definitely struck some curiosity. It made me go back and look at. I mean, when I look at fights, I always try to find a path to victory for both guys. You know what I'm saying? Try to keep it objective. Try to see what both guys do well and the holes, and see what the other guy can exploit. And I think this is going to definitely be a stern test for David. I really wouldn't be surprised if Yarde was able to pull it off, for the simple fact that I went back and looked at some of Yarde's fight, man, and he seemed like he has an ability. First of all, he really only lost to the upper echelon of guys. Yeah. He never, most guys, like Bertergiev and Kovalev, I think he was just freaking just exhausted in that fight. But he has an ability to push people back, and he has the ability to get physical and kind of push you back. I'm just interested to see David fight off the back foot, because David always been a much bigger guy. A lot of guys coming up from 54 to 60 to fight David. Now he's fighting a real light heavyweight, and like I said, Yarde has the ability to put guys on the rope and keep them there. And he'll muscle you and he'll hold you there. I just wonder would that wear David down eventually. And David, when he has that high guard, Yarde has a sneaky left hook that he throws to the body.
Right.
And he's able to land it. I've seen that watch. That's one of his money shots, is that left hook to the body. And David, we haven't seen anybody really attack David's body like that. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I think Yarde, he has more heavy hands, in my opinion. He's not like a one-shot guy, but he's concussive power. He has heavy hands.
Right.
So I want to see how David's going to deal with that. I think it's going to be interesting, man. I think that if it's going to be a physical fight, and that physical fight could take some of the steam out of David's, punches. So, man, we're going to see. So it's interesting. It's definitely intriguing, man.
Nah, that's true, man. That you say people backing up David, because I think that's what Caleb Plant's success was in his fight with David. He had him moving back most of that earlier part of the fight, but then the gas tank issue with Caleb. So I just wonder if Yarde gonna have that same issue with the gas tank, man. Can he push that pace for the whole fight? Because he's gonna have to. David's a monster, man. Once he starts coming downhill, bro, it's tough to get that guy off you.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But that's the thing that worries me about Anthony Yarde, and I really like him. But every time he stepped up, man, he just faded. It happened versus Kovalev. I want to say the round before he got stopped, he had Kovalev on the ropes. It was looking real dark for Kovalev. Kovalev was able to recuperate the following round. Yarde is so spent, he gets hit with a jab, and then he's just sprawled out after that. Just so exhausted he couldn't get up. Then in the fight with Arthur Beterbiev, he boxed pretty well, but then he ultimately got walked into a trap. Sneaky little right hand over the top. His legs went, and then that was all she wrote.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that worries me about Anthony Yarde and fighting a physical fight is that's David Benavidez type of fight. That dude is extremely handsy, very, very handsy. Utilizes a lot of pails and guard manipulations and frames and things of that sort when he's on the inside.
Right.
So it could be a tricky fight, but I think that Anthony Yarde, he certainly got a puncher's chance. I think that he's got a pretty decent skill set, but he just can't get caught posturing. That's something that happens with him quite frequently.
And David Benavidez is not a posturer, like you said. He's somebody where he pushes the pace, but not in a reckless way either. The way he pushes the
Mm-hmm.
pace is pretty
Extremely controlled.
measured. Yeah, it's very controlled. That's why I say, despite the fact that he's a high volume guy, he's also very economical. He's somebody that he's either gonna find openings or he's gonna create them, just
Yeah.
like in a myriad of ways. And then he's also really good at cutting the ring off. He's decent off the back foot. In the rematch versus Gravel, I thought he looked pretty good in the first couple rounds. There was a beautiful little trap that he set moving backwards. It was like an uppercut hook combination. That was pretty good. Um, yeah, I think timing is gonna have to be Anthony Yarde's best friend. If he can get
Yeah.
him in a 50-50 exchange, he's probably got the bigger punch, like Coach Eddie alluded to. So if he can
Right.
force him into some exchanges, that would be the way to do it. But if it's gonna be like a more tactical, thinking man's type of fight, I just don't see him being able to just like outthink and outmaneuver
Yeah. I
David
agree.
Benavidez. I just can't see it at this point.
Yeah, he ain't got the IQ in my opinion. That's no disrespect to Yard. I just don't think he's gotten to that next level, man. I just don't think he's ever gotten there. But shout out to Darius Flowers for dropping the $2 on me, man. He said Ryan up north, happy 4th. I'm Canadian, brother, but happy 4th to you, man. Our day is the 1st, but it's all good, brother. I appreciate everybody for tuning in with me on the 4th, man. Y'all some good people, man. First of all, for giving me the time of the night, I should say. But yeah, man. What do y'all think about Sabril Matias and Puello coming up next week, man? That's a good fight too. That's a hell of a fight, in my opinion.
Yeah, good fight, man. Maybe 50-50, 45-55, man. Matias is always dangerous. If Puello's able to, use his boxing skills and his abilities, man. He's a southpaw, right?
Puello? Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe he is. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so he can use that advantage. He's got a lot of range, man. He used the ring very well. Like I say, he's really surprised me with his boxing ability, to be honest, man. I kind of when he beat Gary Antoine Russell, that really like opened my eyes up because I thought Gary was gonna go in there and take care of business, man. But he was able to outbox Gary, man. And I was like, dang, this dude got some skills, man. A lot of times the guys we don't know about or don't have the big name, they'll come up, they'll surprise you sometime, make a name for themselves, man. And I think that's what happened. So gonna be a good fight. Long as it lasts, if you just got to be careful not to get caught by Matias, you know what I mean? But Matias has shown that he can be outboxed.
Right.
I think he fought with Liam. What the guy he fought?
Yeah, Liam
Powell.
Yeah, Powell. Yeah. So he has shown he can be outboxed, man. So that's what's going to make it. It's a lot. That's a good thing about these cards, man. It's like when you can make an argument for both sides, that's when you got a decent match. It ain't like one of them, oh man, we already know what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean that make it good because you can make an argument even with the David and the Yarde fight. Like, I think a lot of people gonna look at this is really David's first true test at light heavyweight because like Morrell came up from super middleweight with him, and then Vosnick was kind of a little bit past it, long in the tooth, 38 years old. Little activity. So right now you got a guy who's 34 years old, strong, big, heavy puncher. Been in with some top tier guys, came up short, but still is a dangerous opponent in front of you. A guy that's physical, who has is durable to it's going to be a stern test, and we're going to see, man. That boxing is so good right now. I mean, even we got my main man Norman. That fight's coming up, man. We can't ask for too much more right now. We got a lot of great fights coming up like back to back. Even the Usyk Daniel Dubois, that's right around the corner, man.
Yep.
I think Daniel Dubois gonna sleep him, man. I really do. I think he's gonna put Usyk to sleep, man.
Nah, man, I got Usyk breaking UK's heart again. Breaking their heart again.
I don't know. I just like, to me, and I could be wrong. Usyk's a great fighter, man. It just, to me, he seemed like he's went to the well too many times, man. And he like 38, getting up there also.
He getting up there. He is getting up there.
That's what I'm saying. Is like he went to the well. Like he two fights with Tyson Fury, 2 fights with Anthony Joshua. I mean, this dude's been fighting some pretty tough competition, man. 1 fight with Daniel Dubois already. And Daniel Dubois is on a tear right now, man. I think it's gonna be crazy. I think you have success when you go out there and fight Usyk. If you try to box with him, he's gonna pick you apart. You have to fight that guy, man. I think that's the mistake that Daniel Dubois made early when they fought him the first time. You try to box with him. You can't box with a master boxer. You got to fight him. That's why Derek Chisora was able to make it competitive, because Chisora just went out there and just fought with him like a caveman. You know what I'm saying? It just made him fight.
Nah, that's true, man. That's gonna be a good fight, man. I'm looking forward to that one too, man. Because I like Usyk, bro. He just he's everything that Lomachenko was supposed to be. I say to people, like he's that guy, man. He's taking the tough fights. My man fought Fury twice. I think the second fight, Fury was like 55 pounds bigger than him. Like, man, that's unheard of. I can't name another boxer beating dudes 50 pounds bigger than him. I don't care if it's heavyweight or not. Like, this man beat a giant, man. But like, that's Usyk. But Dubois, shout out to Dubois. He's been on a run, like you said. That's why this fight's really interesting, because Dubois built himself back up. Man, he sparked AJ out. Like, I did not expect that. He sparked AJ out. And he did Joseph Parker. I think that would have been better if he fought Joseph and won, but whatever. He got sick. We offered that. He fighting Usyk, man. He getting his get back. So I can't be mad at that.
I was really impressed with the Hrgovic fight too from Daniel Dubois, because there were a lot of questions about his resolve and his fortitude. Heart. Yeah, man, because and I don't blame him for pulling out of that fight with Joe Joyce, and by pulling out I mean like resigning in the ring. I mean, the guy had a gruesome eye injury that could have ended his career. So he was well within his right to be like, nah, this ain't worth it. let me sit my butt down. And then the second half of the first fight with Usyk, I felt like he withered in that one too. You know what I mean? He felt like he got a raw deal with the referee's decision to rule it a low blow. But you still had 4 rounds after that to get some work in. And he pretty much got dominated like through 6 through 9 and then ended up getting stopped. But he came back strong. I don't think that he's a much better boxer, but I do believe that he's a better fighter than he was. Because from a technical standpoint and from a tactical standpoint, we haven't really seen much different from him.
Yeah.
It's been pretty much the same, but, now he's fighting with a lot more zeal.
For real. What's going on? I got Thomas Hill in the building. What's going on, brother?
Salute, Tommy. What's going on, brother?
Salute, Coach Eddie. Salute, Ann McQueen. Salute to my great brother up yonder, Ryan Fraser. Yo, man, I want to say that I'm going to piggyback off of what Ant just said. I think that the biggest disappointment I ever felt from Dubois was the fact that after things didn't go his way in the Usyk fight, he checked out mentally.
Yeah. And you seen it instantly.
Yeah, it instantly just happened. Like, he felt like, I guess, everything caving in, and it was like the fix was in, so to speak, instead of just maintaining his composure in his head and trying to work a way out. And it was just enough of what Usyk needed to just regain and to maintain his dominance in that fight. And I think that more so than anything, he went home. I think he went home and did some soul searching, because after that, he started coming with more purpose in that ring, more determination in that ring. And it's going to have to serve him well in that fight with Usyk, because from a skill set standpoint, I mean, Usyk is going to definitely tip the scales in his balance.
Yeah.
But now you got to take in consideration intangibles and what can Daniel do to tip it towards his favor or to level the playing field. So I think, right that wrong, he's been doing that in his resurgence tour. So hopefully, he's focused and he's recognizing, man, this might be his only option, his only chance to actually make his mark. Because everybody, I mean, they're saying this Usyk is the greatest thing since sliced bread in the heavyweight division. So he better get him a piece, make him a sandwich or two.
Yeah, I
man.
feel you. I feel like, you know, when he fought Big Baby Miller, it seemed like he got smarter as the fight went on. Because I was watching it at first, I said, "Man, don't you see what's going on?" Then he finally started to figure it out. So I think he's coming into this fight with a lot more understanding about what he needs to do and who he is. And I'm gonna say this again. I think Usyk went to the well one too many times. He keep fighting these big, strong guys, and I think it's wearing him down, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you go 24 rounds with Anthony Joshua, man. I mean, that's tough. You go 24 rounds with Tyson Fury, that's tough.
Yeah.
And I think those fights put a lot on the odometer. Not to mention that he's on the wrong side of 30. And that Dane Dubois understands the assignment. The assignment is not the boxer. The assignment is to seek and destroy. That's what the assignment is right there. And anytime you got a guy like a Dane Dubois, two-fisted puncher with dynamite in both hands, it's going to be a dangerous fight, man. It's going to be a game of Russian roulette, man. And I would not be surprised if Usyk gets stretched, man. I just kind of feel it. I could be wrong. I feel like he's going to get stretched out. Because like I said, I just think he went to the well one too many times. He should have walked off into the sunset when he beat Tyson Fury. But he came back and jumped right back in the lion's den with this young guy who's been on a tear, and I think it's gonna cost him. I really do. I could be wrong, but I just got a gut feeling that it ain't gonna end well for Usyk.
Shout out to my guy Stock Chasers dropping that $2 on me. He said boxing talk up north, New Jersey drop. Canada on fire. Salute, my guy.
I want my chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the Dippin' Dots.
Yo, the Dippin' Dots is fire, yo. Oh, man. What y'all think about Abdullah Mason, man? Is he the next face of boxing? That young
Next
man
face,
is good,
it
man.
depends on what they do with it. Depends on how they market him. That's what it all comes down to. It's marketing and promotion. You can be the most fantastic fighter in the world. You could be knocking guys out, but if nobody's around to witness it, it don't matter.
No, that's
Depends on
facts,
how they
man.
moving.
And to add to what he just said, because I was just about to say that, how can he assimilate with himself into the marketing? Because as we know, he's not a very talkative person. He does most of his talking in the ring, and you got to be engaging for you to be a face, or you got to have the machine behind you. So we'll see, like you said, how they move him. He's got the goods. At least it appears that he has the goods.
Nah, he does.
You're right, man. Because like boxing and wrestling kind of go hand in hand, man. Like Ali, he picked this stick up from Gorgeous George. I'm not saying you got to have a gimmick, but if you really think about it, if a fighter doesn't have a nickname, that's like unheard of. Like Iron Mike Tyson, Evander the Real Deal Holyfield, Lennox the Lion Lewis, Bernard the Executioner Hopkins, the Golden Boy, Money Mayweather, Pretty Boy Mayweather. You got to have a characterization. And a lot of these guys, they're not attaching that characterization. Like Edgar Berlanga, yeah, he's found his character, man. You know what I mean? That's who he is. He found a character, like him or not, he's found something that works for him. Even Rolly Romero found something that worked for him. Ryan Garcia, he found something that worked for him. So Tank Davis, he got his own, his nickname is Tank. So I'm like, these guys Andre Ward. I love Andre Ward, man, but he didn't never separate himself. That's why he didn't become a household name, because he just didn't have that charisma. You gotta talk a little bit, man. You gotta do something.
Personality. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have something. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. Andre Ward had a great career, made millions and millions of dollars, but I mean, think about Sergey the Crusher Kovalev. Think about all the guys who had something attached to their name, and that's what they were known for. Triple G with Big Drama Show, whatever. I mean, you got to have something, man. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's true. That's true, man. And I just look at it like Abdullah's really young, and his whole career has been on like ESPN essentially. So I feel like they've been force feeding him. But like you said, he don't really have the the personality yet. And maybe it's because he's young. He's 21. So he got some time, but we'll see, man. We'll see what he turns out to be. I think he's got all the talent in the world, but like you said, it's when it comes to this business side of boxing, it's a whole different ball game.
I believe this Riyadh season card that may help boost his profile. That's the other part of it too, because you got some guys that don't necessarily talk a lot, but their management found a way to get them on these big cards and put them in big spots. Like that's
Yeah,
extremely important, man, to be in those big spots. You look at all of these guys who have become pay-per-view stars over the years. They were undercards on bigger pay-per-view stars
right.
cards. And then gradually you see them moving up from being maybe first on the main portion to being second, and then they work their way up to being the co-main, and then eventually to the main. So I think that's important too, where you fight. What you just said, man, is something that I've been screaming for the longest time. Fighting on ESPN, right? But they had him early on in the 8 rounders and so on and so forth. But then you look at the PBC side of things, most of their fights on pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
you're putting them in front of an audience that's already been conditioned to pay for fights. So that
nah,
goes
that's
a
true.
long way too. You look at a guy like Bud Crawford, people are like, well, Bud don't sell pay-per-views. Well, Bud was never really groomed to be a pay-per-view star because the audience that he was fighting in front of was accustomed to seeing his fights on ESPN. So then now when you turn around and you say to these people, hey, it's time to pony up some dough to watch a pay-per-view. It's like, what? We got the last 20 for free. Why should
Mm-hmm.
this one be any different? Now, conversely, PBC, that's just the way that they do things, where they do far more pay-per-view shows, and then they might now we've seen probably what 2 free cards since they've been on Amazon Prime. We
Yeah,
got the one with Caleb Plant, and we got the one with Tim Zoo. So that's
yep.
2. Everything else has been pay-per-views. So yeah, like what the cards you fight on, the events you fight on, who you fight before, like all that stuff matters. The order in which you fight, all that stuff matters.
Nah, I agree, man. And I think boxing is shifting again because if Netflix is involved, they might take the pay-per-view model right out because they big enough to do that. They doing Canelo and Bud, and if that's not pay-per-view, man, that might be transcending alone. That move there, that's a power move. To put up that much bread and just put it on Netflix for the whole world to see.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's almost unheard of, man. That's like having Muhammad Ali, fighting on CBS back in the day, man. This
Word.
network television, just turn the TV on and there he is.
Yeah,
Man,
everybody got Netflix. Somebody knows somebody with Netflix.
facts. I envy your generation, Coach Eddie. Man, y'all used to be able to watch these fights on Wide World of Sports. I'm only
Oh yeah,
36, so that's before my time. I'm an HBO boxing baby.
oh yeah, yeah. You
I
missed
wasn't
out,
around
man.
for Wild World of Sports.
MBS, y'all had on MBS, CBS, like y'all had it on
E-
regular cable.
Even
Yeah, we used to.
even the Olympics, man. Like we used to gather around the TV and watch the Olympics,
Uh,
man. Olympic boxing. I
yeah.
remember watching Roy Jones fight in the '88 Olympics. Floyd Mayweather, '88 and '96 Olympics. So the Olympic program ain't what it used to be. The Olympic was prime time TV back then. It
Yeah,
came on prime time, man.
Absolutely.
And we gathered
yeah. My
around and we
pop,
watched it in the living
my pop,
room, man. You know
my
what I'm
pop was
saying?
in the '84 Olympic, and he said like, y'all, that was y'all best team that y'all brought that year. I think that was Holyfield, Mark Breland, Sweet Pea. That was one of y'all best teams, bro. Yeah, sweet Eddie Alvarez from Michigan. What's going on, man? I think like
But
if boxing can get back to that, like you said, like where it's just in the masses' eyes, I think then the sport will get better, bro, because more kids will try to do it.
But as he said, on the Olympics, it was the prime time event. Like that was the one that secured the major
Oh, the
spot.
Olympics. Okay.
Yeah, so when those matches were on, people's eyes was dialed in. It shifted to like either basketball or track and field now. But at that time, boxing was up there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, exactly. It was you tune in to watch Carl Lewis, you know what I'm saying? And then they also had the boxing too. All of it was prime time.
And I remember it because I was just a little kid at that point in time, bro. That's what my mom had us watching. We sitting in there watching, and she loved her some boxing. She's a sports athlete, so she loves sports in general. But man, that ring, boy, that was a fiesta. We get together, have parties, cook up, fight on. Sugar Ray was her guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was, and just the love and the admiration that we have for the sport of boxing. So, we rooted for our people and our folks, and, we wanted to see the fights because the fights were, back then it was a viable means of income more so than it is now. Now it's like a one-shot place to stop. Back then, nah, you got to get that next fight in because it's better than punching the clock.
Yeah, even guys like James Toney, they was fighting like 10 times a year, man. That's unheard of.
Yeah, they wasn't getting the big paydays back then either, though. That's why they
was fighting.
That's why they had to fight. Like I say, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. But yeah, you want to see the guys making much money as possible, but then at the same time, that also allows guys to take these 12-month, 14, 16-month layoffs because they just made $12 million, $25 million. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Coach, heading to that point, man, on our show, the Casuals Corner, man, one time we did an expose. What was that fighter's name, man? That was fighting in various weight class. I mean, he went up a four weight class.
I can't remember that cat's name.
No way.
Man. You talking about he was on one of those Don King cards. But yeah, this dude's record was like 2-35. And he fought from 108 all the way up to I think like 175 maybe. And he was just fluctuating, just going up and down in Mexico though. So he would go to one town in Mexico, he get knocked out. They take him to another town a week later. He get knocked out again. Like he was just as Ohio runs sports, Ohio runs boxing will call him. He would call him like a misfit, like one of them guys. He's not even going in there to be competitive. He's not even a journeyman. He's just going from Guadalajara to Tijuana to Tulum. He's just getting knocked out, collecting checks.
Yeah,
that's what Reggie Strickland was doing, man. That dude had like 280 fights, man. You know, it's like sick. You know, dude was always losing. You know, like dude had crazy record, like lost like over 200 and something matches, man. You can look him up. His name is Reggie Strickland, man.
So that's why.
Then there was that other boxer. I forget his name. He used to get in the car and drive state to state, getting matches. Like he'd get in a match, get in the car, go to another state, and then not too long after that, he would fight. I forgot, but he actually had a good record.
Oh man, that's wild.
Yeah, that's why the commissioner started suspending them guys, man, because they literally lose on Monday and then go. They were just running around just picking up paydays, man. You know, and they didn't care how many losses they had. It's literally dudes out there with 200 and something losses, man. Just making a living, just picking up paydays, man. Run around going there.
It's dangerous.
Get hit one time and fall on the ground. A lot of dudes just take a dive, man. Soon they get hit, they just go out. They just go out, bro. you know what I'm saying? Pretty much, they just go out.
Oh man, no, that's crazy, man. But yeah, that's how they made a living, I guess. So I can't knock it, man. I can't knock it, but that's not what I want to see. So I'm glad the guys are doing it the right way now. Like you said, taking less fights, less punishment, and making big checks. But at the same time, I hate the guys who fight like once a year. I'm like, man, come on, give me at least 3. Give me at least 3. But hey,
Likewise.
The pay is good, so I can't even get mad.
But I think the thing that sucks about it though, Ryan, is them guys that fight once a year or they fight every 16 months is they get in the ring and then they have this lackluster performance. They look pedestrian as hell, and the first thing they say is, "Oh, my timing was off in ring rust." So it's like, yeah, well, no shit. You've been out the ring for 18 months. Like, come back and fight more frequently.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you how Turkey has really shifted the landscape of boxing right now. Like in my opinion, like it's not so much focus on just 4 or 5 main guys. He actually brought a lot of talent to the forefront. So now we've been really getting a buffet of boxing right now. So if you're a boxing fan and not a fan of boxers, you're loving this. Because if you just wait on a particular boxer, I mean, this dude really fights like comes around like Christmas, like once a year. You know what I'm saying? So screw that. I ain't waiting on some dude that want to fight once a year. I'm just going to enjoy these turkey cards, and they're stacked cards, man. And it's really most of the time you can make a case for either guy to win, or have the. In other words, a guy always had a path to win on the turkey cards. He may be an underdog, but there is a path to victory. It ain't like some of these cards where like it's just a foregone conclusion. Like, man, this guy has absolutely no chance to win this fight, and that what makes a good fight, man. And we got exposed to a lot of fighters that we from the UK, from different countries that we're getting exposed to now that we're not used to getting because we just used to just basically just depending on these 4 or 5 guys, and now it's not like that anymore, man. And now we got a whole crop of new guys that's coming up that's putting in work. Just making a name for themselves, man.
Yep, that's facts.
Yep.
Stock Chasers. He said, y'all giving Tim Tszyu a chance against Vendora? I think Tim Tszyu's a favorite.
Oh, is he?
I think so. I mean,
you know what?
From the last fight, he was
Yeah,
piecing up.
they fight on the 19th too, right? In 2 weeks.
Yeah, they fighting. Yep, on that Pacquiao and Barrios.
I'll be flipping back and forth, man. Like, oh, you know what fight to watch, man? It's gonna be so many fights on that day, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a full day of boxing, that's for sure.
Well, the thing with me with Tim Tszyu is if he still got that PTRD, because the last time he got in the ring after he got cut from the Fundora fight, he was worried about that eye opening or that forehead opening up or whatever it was that opened up, and he was more nervous for that than he was for his opponent, and his energy was distracted. So we got to see, how he rebounds from that time off, and hopefully from him healing from that mentally more so than anything.
No, that's
against Murtazalia early on, he touched his head to see if his head was bleeding. I was like, "What the hell is going on?"
Mm-hmm.
He didn't trust the scar tissue.
Yeah, he did look worried, bro. He did.
But I mean, with good cause, because they were great cause. As a matter of fact, they should have stopped the fight. His corner in particular. But if not, the doctor should have, or the ref. Man, that was way too much blood to be letting in his face like that. And to be losing in a match like that, where you got to expend energy.
Yeah, I was surprised they let that belt go on too, but they also let that Marcus Brown and Badu Jack go on.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was nuts.
And that Tyson
that was absolutely insane.
That joint going on. So Tyson Fury fight, that fight should have been stopped. That dude had
the Wallin. Mm-hmm. That was a nasty cut too. The boxing outcome, he said, I like Tim Tszyu in this fight. He was winning the first few rounds before the cut. It was a war regardless. Yeah. It's a good fight, man.
That's the thing about Fundora, man. He's very vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can catch him good, you can get him out of there. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's not like a defensive wizard. I just put it like that. You know what I'm saying? And, Tim Tszyu, he probably had his confidence back. He went over there and cooked Joey Spencer, beat him half to death. You know what I'm saying? It was like I didn't expect Joey to get beat that bad, that quick. He would have just mopped the floor with him, man. So it's gonna be a good fight, long as it lasts.
I ain't gonna lie, Spencer been primed for that position. It looked like they priming him for that position for the rest of his career, man, because he done took some serious beatings.
Yeah, Ramos.
Well, too. Yeah, I was gonna say that one. Ryan. That Ramos fight. Oh my lord, he was getting lit up. He got lit up in that fight.
Ramos.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was like it's one thing to get pressed out. It's another thing to get pressed out and outclassed. Like once Jesus started utilizing angles and giving all these shifty movements and punching off the angles, I was like, yeah, there's no way Joey Spencer's gonna come back from this. He ended up getting stopped. So I expected Tim Tszyu to be able to do that to him. And I think that he was the perfect candidate, like T. Hill just said. The one thing that I am looking for, aside from the PTSD with Tim Tszyu, is his vulnerability early. He's been dropped several times early in fights. He got dropped in the first round versus Wade Ryan. He got dropped in the first round versus Terrell Gausha. And then versus Murtazaliev, he got blitzed and he ended up getting put out. So
Yeah.
he's vulnerable as hell early, and he's
Yeah.
susceptible to being caught cold.
No, that's a good point. That's a valid point right there.
That backroom fight was that was crazy. That was crazy. And Backroom's one of them guys where like he's not even getting calls now because of that fight. Like nobody want to fight that guy now. It's crazy, man. Nobody's signing up. But hey,
but he's a belt holder, so they want to unify those titles. They're gonna have to go through him.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. My man.
What y'all think about the Devin Haney Norman fight?
Nah, I like the fight, man. I think it's a good fight. Great fight for both men. And shout out to Brian Norman Jr. He getting a rematch clause if he loses. I always think if you a champ, you got to put a rematch clause in any fight, even if you think you're gonna win. Yep. So
real good business.
Real
good fight. Real good fight. I mean, it's a fight of styles, and I just want Devin to be right in the ring, because if he's right in the ring, then we should be able to see a really good fight. I don't want to see the look that he showed in the ring against Ramirez, where when punches was coming at him, them eyes started sprawling wide open. I want him to trust himself again, and I think in this ring, at that class, I don't think he'll have to cut as much weight to get into the ring, so he will be definitely more conditioned and more of his strength. I think it'll look. Hopefully, the Ryan that fought. I'm not Ryan. The Devin that fought. What's his name? Regis. There we go. Regis. The way he looked physically and the way his movement was spot on. If we get that Devin, it's going to be a hell of a fight.
Word.
That was the guy who was riding high and had a lot of confidence. Right now, you're dealing with
absolutely,
and that's why a lot of people say, well, yeah, he got the win with the Ramirez fight, but the fight absolutely done nothing for his confidence at all, man, because he didn't test himself. I mean, that fight he should have really went out there. I ain't saying be reckless, but go out there and test it, man. He didn't test anything, so he really still those same questions he had before he went into that fight. They're still there. He didn't answer any of them. He didn't answer none of those questions, man.
And you don't want to try to answer any questions in the ring with Brian Norman when he's hungry and he's got stuff to prove, and that makes him extremely dangerous. He is getting better, fight bout by bout. He is getting better and he's improving. So it's an excellent style contrast. It's an excellent test of wills and IQs and movement, because.
Yeah, I think it's a 50-50 fight, man. I think Brian Norman Jr. is coming in high. He's gotten those knockout wins lately. His confidence got to be riding high. And like you said, Devin Haney, he never tested his chin really in his last fight or anything of that sort. But the fact of the matter is he's still Brian Norman Jr.'s best opponent to date. He's going to be the most elite fighter he's faced. So we're going to see if Brian Norman Jr. is that guy. This is honestly a breakout fight for Norman, in my opinion. If he could go in there and stop Devin, it's a statement win, man. He's going to be on another level. He's going to be above everybody at 147. And for Devin, it's a chance to be a 3-division champ, which very few have done in the sport. A lot on the table for these young men.
I really don't like the fight for Devin, but Bill talked him into it, and that's one thing I can say. Bill has he has a way to get Devin's opponents to get in that extra motivation. It's like, man, sometimes just don't say nothing, man. I don't think he really understands what talking does to another fighter. It really makes that person want to destroy your son. I mean, I done been around boxing my whole life. I done seen fathers and sons doggone get into it at the gym because they basically fight their son like they're pit bulls. And then they say, you know, both of the fathers are trying to fight each other. You know, yeah, you got to break them fools up. So that's what Bill does. He goes out there and he puts all these batteries in these people's back, and now they want to kill his son because of what he's saying.
Yeah.
I said, man, what Bill said about Brian Norman Jr.'s grandmother, Devin's gonna pay for that, man. He's gonna pay for Devin's gonna have to pay for that.
Yeah.
I'm telling Devin is probably he's probably gonna get knocked out, man. I'm gonna keep it 100 because first of all, he can't win a decision, in my opinion. If he fights any way like he did at Ramirez, the judges will not reward him for that type of performance. Because Brian Norman's gonna be throwing punches, first of all. He ain't gonna be sitting there looking at him like Ramirez was. He's gonna be letting his hands go.
Yeah,
he's gonna be cutting that ring down. I don't know. Devin, he's a good fighter, but people keep talking about his accolade. Yeah, accolades are cool, but his best work is at 135 against guys that he had a huge size advantage on. This is the most dangerous fight that Devin Haney has ever fought, that he ever fought. He has nobody in his resume. It's more dangerous than Brian Norman Jr. And they like to bring up Lomachenko. Lomachenko really 126 pounder. The guy just went up to 135. And then, I think that was his ceiling was 135. He couldn't go no further. He was a small guy. Yeah, everybody like to bring up Lomachenko. Teofimo like to blame up Lomachenko. Devin Haney like to blame up Lomachenko. But at the end of the day, you fighting a dude who literally coming to decapitate you, man. And I know Brian Norman Jr. is a very violent fighter, man. He has power in both hands. And he can box a little bit too. He's a good boxer. And he's athletic enough too. Because most guys that Devin Haney fought were Mexican fighters. They were Latino and Mexican fighters. He don't have that many black people on his resume. Go look at his resume. Ain't that many brothers on his resume. That's by design, brother.
No, that's why I commend Devin Haney though, because he getting himself in a dangerous fight. Like I can't get nothing but that young man respect for that, man. Because he could have went somewhere else, you know, could have went a different route, but they said yeah to a dangerous puncher. So shout out to Norman. He could have went somewhere else too. He could have went back to the whole hometown fight. You know, he been on the road, but nah, they going back on the road, man. So shout out to the Normans.
So before I ain't going cook, because I know he gonna cook on this, I want to just piggyback off of what Coach Eddie said. I want to not just the Normans, because that was hella disrespectful, especially knowing that they went through a similar situation for you to do it. I understand it was the Ripple. The Ripple was making his pimples talk, his dimples talk. But you know, you can't bump your guns like that personally, like that, especially within, you know, our culture. But you know, it also makes it more enticing for said person to put the fight on, and Turkey jump on it. Oh, you talk about it, we can make it happen. You know what I'm saying? We make it happen. Like, where's your options? Oh, you need something? And you know you're going to put him in a ring where, you know, that it's going to be tidy up in there. So, you know, you ain't going to be able to move around as much as you did in that Ramirez fight. So, you know, yeah, they got to be careful, and they got to be primed, because I do think it's a lot more personal for at least senior. I don't know about junior. Junior seems to be composed, but he was talking about his grandmother too. So with that, I'm going to go on and acquiesce to my main man, Aunt McQueen.
No, I was just going to ask the question, because T. Hill, you mentioned the Regis Prograis fight, and I thought that Devin was fantastic in that fight. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Regis Prograis got a 67-inch reach. So Devin could keep him on the outside like that.
Small guy. Yeah.
Well, the thing with Regis is his arms are abnormally short for his height, because he's around the same height as Devin, but he's got a 67-inch. He got T-Rex arms. He can't help that. But Brian Norman Jr. is actually going to have the reach advantage in this fight.
Oh, I thought Haney had a longer reach, but it's shorter.
No.
I think he's shorter, but has a longer reach. I don't know.
I double checked the other day. Brian Norman Jr.'s got the reach advantage by an inch. Devin's got a 71-inch reach. 71-inch reach. Brian Norman Jr.'s got 72. So how is he going to fight that type of fight? And how does he generate offense consistently enough? Because like Coach Eddie said, he can't afford to fight the way he fought against Jose Ramirez. That ain't going to get it done.
At all. At all. Interesting point too. And I mean, because not only there's that, but there's also the double pump. The double pump he did with the little jab, the pump to shoot a shot with the shuffle. That's not going to be something that Norman is doing either. He's a lot more sound with his footwork and the jab. So wow, that was a great take.
In my opinion, Devin Haney has regressed. I think
that fight wasn't good. I don't know. I don't put too much merit into it because it's one performance. I think everybody allowed to have a bad night.
Well, I'm not talking about just that one performance. I'm just saying I remember seeing the early Devin Haney, the one that was fighting a guy like Moran when he was working with Floyd Sr., when he was moving and he was grooving, where he could stand in front of you and make you miss. He could do an inside slip and shoot an uppercut. I hadn't seen that Devin in a long, long time, man.
Yeah,
it's like I know it's still there, but it's like they hop around so much. You know, they don't stick. It's like a Ronin. A Ronin is a masterless warrior. You got to have. You really look at everybody who's really been good. They always had a trainer that they stuck with for a long time. You can't just keep hopping around from this guy to that guy to this guy every goddamn fight. How you gonna get any cohesiveness? How you gonna build a relationship? How can Bill coach him through getting hurt? Because if your trainer panic, your fighter's gonna panic.
Yeah,
and your fighter can sit when your trainer is not settled or your corner man is not settled or he has any doubts. They can pick up on it just like that. It's like a dog. A dog can sense when a person's afraid without even it's like a pheromone or something. I don't know what it is, but a fighter can tell when his trainer or coach isn't confident in what's about to go on, and it's contagious. And the fighter will pick it up. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's what it is. I think father and son is good and it's bad because sometimes a father can have he can be like, oh, that's my son, he can take it, or he'll be like, that's my son, I'm gonna stop it too early. And like Bill's ego would not allow him to throw the towel in when he was fighting Ryan because he talked so much trash. Like Buddy McGirt probably would have stopped that fight because Buddy McGirt, hey, I'm stopping it. I'm pulling the plug. You know what I'm saying? Robert Garcia let you get beat to death. Some fighters, that's Robert Garcia let all his fighters get beat to death. Buddy McGirt gonna stop it.
Yeah.
But Bill talked so much he wouldn't even stop the fight, man. And I think that Devin took a lot of punishment in that fight.
Nah, he did, man. But I mean, Dev kept getting back up. He showed me he got the heart of a champ. I was like, damn, bro, my man Dev getting back up, winning these rounds too. Damn.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what? It was a fight back in the day. I'm gonna be real quick. When I think it was Hector Camacho. I think he got hurt. I can't even remember the guy, but he got hurt in this fight, and he never fought the same after that, man.
True. Yeah.
Does happen. Yo, Coach Eddie, you made a fantastic point about the dads. As you were saying that, it made me think about I don't know if y'all remember Gabe Rosado's father.
Oh, when he was fighting Triple G?
When he was fighting Triple G, remember his coach was pleading with him. He's like, yo, I gotta throw the towel.
Yeah.
Your son is gonna die in there. And his dad was willing to let him just continue to fight, and he was getting the crap beat out of him.
Yeah.
Nah, you right, man. Triple G is known for doing this, breaking dudes in half.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have somebody with an even kill and a level head in there because, like I said, a father let his son get beat to death sometime, man. I don't see it happen, man. Like Billy Collins, his dad let him get beat to death, man. I'm like, what you waiting on? It's over with, bro. We don't have no path to victory. Maybe we might well call it a night, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's no reason to
back home, man.
Yeah, man, no reason to keep sending a guy out there if he's taking a beating. All it's gonna do is shorten his career. That's all it's gonna do.
Yeah.
Yo, another thing to him getting back up too, that shows the tremendous conditioning he's in. because you gotta have something to pull from when your reserve get tapped like that. So that's one thing that I will always commend Dev for, the dedication he puts into his discipline and training and the conditioning of his body. He be in some condition, he be in some shape, and he needs it at times when things are not going his way.
Yeah, no, man, I love it. I love it, man. And like whoever loses this fight, I hope the fans don't throw them away, man, because they both doing something good for the sport, fighting when they're young, man. We need more of that. These champions fighting when they're young, instead of waiting until they're 35 and the fight's pass and got all this marination these fans talk about. Like, we don't need that, man. We need them fresh so we can get a rematch. We can get a rematch out of this possibly if the fight's good.
Oh yeah, but neither guy's gonna get any credit. Somebody, I mean, if Devin Haney beats Brian, they're gonna say, "Well, Brian ain't fought nobody."
You're right, bro.
And then if Norman beats Devin, well, Devin ain't got no chin. Right. So you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't win. So either way, you just gotta enjoy the fight for what it is, man.
He was damaged goods.
Yeah, I was about to say that he was a shy fighter. But it is part of the course, man. Unfortunately, that's how we as boxing fans move nowadays, man. But either fighter gets that from me. Let me cut this mute.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I do agree. Like, these fans are too fickle, man. Too fickle. They want.
What about this fool Hamza Sherrod versus Edgar Berlanga? Who you got in that fight?
Yeah, I got Shiraz winning a decision. Shout out to Berlanga, but I just don't think he's an elite level boxer. And neither do I think Hamza Shiraz is either, but I think Hamza Shiraz is the better boxer, and I think he can stay away from some of those power punches.
I agree, Ryan. I agree. I gotta say, initially I was a little bit tough on Hamza Shiraz the night of the Adames fight, but rewatched it. What was it, last week with my man T Hill? And I was like, man, the first half of the fight, Hamza Shiraz did a fantastic job of staying on the outside and not giving Adames too many opportunities. Like, he boxed really long in that fight, comparatively to the fight prior, the one with Ammo Williams. With Ammo, he was, in my opinion, he was putting himself in too many 50-50 exchanges. You're in there with a guy where you got a significant height and reach advantage. There's no reason why you need to be chest to chest with this guy willingly. If he closes the gap, that's one thing. If you got to resort to fighting on the inside because the guy is that good at closing the gap, sure. But to just be in there, just slugging with this guy, with the smaller man, for what? You got the height and the reach advantage. Most importantly, the reach advantage. Keep his ass on the outside. Stay behind your jab, and just keep circling around, a la Larry Holmes. Just do that. Just move perpetually and just keep firing the jab, and occasionally throw a hard shot behind that. And for the most part, that's what he did against Adames. I will say this too. After rewatching it, I noticed, I think it was around round 4, where you start seeing him shake out his lead hand a lot more. I think that Hamza Shiraz, he's got that in his bag. I also think that he is better at finding openings than my guy Berlanga. Berlanga's got a pretty nice, firm jab, but the thing with him is it doesn't really lead to anything. You're not going to see him fire 2 jabs, condition a guy, and then hook off the jab or something like that. You're not going to see it. It's just he just walks forward, tries to land a big shot. And it worked against those first 16 guys that he fought when he had the 16 fight knockout streak in the first round or whatever that was.
Yep.
But in the moment he stepped up in competition, and he's fighting guys like, veteran guys like Steve Rose and Angulo and so on and so forth. Then he went like 5 straight fights going the distance until he fought, I think it was like Patrick McCrory or somebody like that.
Right.
But I agree with you, bro. Just like, he's a very strong guy. He's a brute. Not much brains. Like, you're not gonna see him do anything creative. But he's not gonna be creative with combinations. He ain't gonna really set no traps. He's just a walk up to you and punch you with the right hand, and he can get your body. That's about it. But I think that Shiraz is gonna probably box circles around him if he keeps it smart.
And to add to what both of you guys just said about that fight, and what Ant just recently said about shaking out that hand, he had an injury. We found out that the injury was what stopped most of the production that was going on with him, because he was very productive in that Adames fight early on. But as Ant notified you guys that when he shook his hand out, it was because that hand was hurt. He hurt himself in that fight. And if it was hurt prior going into it, he hurt himself in that fight. And after that, it was a different fight for him. So if he's able to do what he is able to do with his jab and his ring presence, as you stated, as both of you have stated with Berlanga, his only chance is to knock him out. I don't think he outboxes him, and he's definitely not getting a decision, because we saw what happened that fight with Adames. He ain't getting no decision over Adames there, so he's gonna have to spark him.
Nah, that's true, man. Edgar
You know,
Berlanga.
Adames is a much better fighter than Berlanga, in my opinion.
Yep.
I seen a poor man, Joe Frazier, at points in time. You know, with the bobbing and the weaving and the coming forward and the banging the body like Joe used to do. Plus, I like the fact that Shiraz is going up to 168. It's going to give him a little more wiggle room right there. He should be stronger at that weight with the extra 8 pounds. And I think if this is his first fight with Andy Lee.
Yep. Yeah.
I like that Kronk edition. You know, with the little Manuel Stewart. And Manuel Stewart is known for the long, rangy type of fighters. You know, like the G-Man and guy like Michael Moore, and of course the Motor City Cobra. And Andy Lee was one of his fighters also, so he's pulling from a whole wealth of experience right there. And I think he's going to be sitting on that right hand pretty good, man. I would not be surprised if Hamza gets him out of there, man. If he really sits down on that right hand, because Edgar Berlanga's defense is not stellar, not stellar at all. You can catch him. Like Adames was a little bit more harder target for Sherrod, because with the constant head movement, bobbing, slipping, and ducking up on the shots. Especially like you a taller guy, you fight a shorter guy. Those shorter guys can get up under your punches, pretty easy, because they've been doing it their whole life. They're good at it. Edgar's there to get hit, man. Edgar's there for the taking, in my opinion, man. I wouldn't be surprised he get knocked out, man. Yeah, probably run into something, get clipped, man.
Damn, that'd be something that Canelo couldn't even do.
But see, that's the thing, though. I was just about to bring mention to that with what Coach Eddie was saying. I mean, he was very available in that fight. Matter of fact, the knockdown shows you his availability to punches, especially punches that he should have saw. So now, if like I said, if Hamza is healthy, his hand isn't hurting, and he's using his jab right, he can probably catch him. Now, I don't know if he's gonna knock him out, but I do believe he can outbox him. I think he boxes circles around him. He's not the opponent that Adames was. Adames did fantastic work, but like Ant said, prior to a certain round, I think it was 5. That's when it shifted. Before is when the injury happened. He was doing fantastic work, and he was pretty much dictating the flow in the ring. If he dictates the flow on Berlanga just going to be a willing participant. Just kind of like Regis Prograis was to Devin Haney, just following him in the line, trying to get a shot off, and in the process getting tagged all around the ring.
I thought Coach Eddie made a fantastic point too, man, about the height and Adames with the head movement. Edgar Berlanga, he keeps his head on the line. He's super susceptible to feints. He's also susceptible to being conditioned. You see the way that Canelo dropped him with that left hook. All he had to do was throw 2 jabs in succession, then fire a left hook. By the time Berlanga's thinking the 3rd jab is coming, he swiped down so far to try to parry the jab. He's wide open for a hook.
Mm-hmm.
Like he bites hard on feints, man, and he's just there to be set up. So I do think that Shiraz is a sharp enough puncher. We also got to remember this too. He's got 17 knockouts and 21 victories. So it's not like the guy is a slouch in the punching power department. He's also sharp enough. And I thought that Coach Eddie also made another fantastic point. The guy is 6'3" or something like that, 6'4".
Yeah, he is tall.
So having that extra 8 pounds that he's not gonna have to cut, this guy might come in there revitalized and rejuvenated, bro. And the hand is gonna be healthy. And I think that Edgar, he definitely has a strong puncher's chance, but I just feel like if he stays long and works behind the jab, and here's the other thing that we didn't mention too, Shiraz is actually a switch hitter. This guy can switch. He can go orthodox or
Yeah.
southpaw.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, if you rewatch the Ammo fight, he was switching. He was going back and forth, orthodox to southpaw, and he was looking pretty comfortable in southpaw too. So that's another element that he's got in his bag that Berlanga just doesn't have, man. It's just a lot more creativity on his behalf, I would say.
Who needs the W more, Berlanga or Hamza?
I'm gonna say Hamza. Hamza needs it. Matter of fact, I think that a lot of these fights, I don't want to sound sinister, but I think Turkey's like setting some of these guys up, man. Like,
oh, for real?
Maybe just to get him off his payroll or something. I think he's setting Devin up for one. I can't think of the life of me why in the heck. In my opinion, I'm like Devin should have just fought the guy that he came up with, the TO. They really should have pushed that fight, man. You know, at least give yourself a little time to acclimate to the 147 before you just jump in there, man. Talking about you want to fight Boots and all these guys, which I knew that was cap, man. But I would have really been pushing for the Tio fight, man. You know what I mean? I think that's a fight a long time in the making, man. I would have tried to do whatever we can to get that fight across the board, get that across the line.
Hey, your boy Tio looking for a Claggett in the bush, man. He ain't looking for no tough fight. He gonna talk a tough fight. He gonna talk making boxing great again, and then he gonna find a Steve Claggett that they elevate from outside the top 15 to make it make sense. But I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna shout out my man Z Pacino because I don't know if we've already talked. If you guys have already discussed the Billy Martinez fight. Yeah, but I know he wanted to talk over it. So what you guys feel about that?
That's a good ass freaking fight, man. That's a firefight. You know what I'm saying? Both these guys are punchers. I got to rock with obviously Christian and Billy because he represents my country, but you know he has offensive flaws, man. He gets a little too wide for my liking, but shoot, if he lands, that's it, bro. He just needs to land. But Lester Martinez is a little bit more polished. That's a firefight, man. That's another 50-50 fight, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like that fight.
That's what that is right there.
I like that fight. Good fight.
You hear that background? That's what I expect out of that fight right there.
Firecrackers, yeah.
Fireworks, man. For real.
You know, you gotta kind of feel. I ain't gonna say I feel for him, but a guy like me and Billy, you know, and I think this is a lot of time when the business of boxing kind of takes over. You know, shout out to Tan Crawford, you know, for getting the fight, man. But like, man, that's gotta like really hurt, man. And I wish Canelo would just relinquish the belts, man, because how can a guy, you know, just jump over everybody and just go straight to the front of the line, man? You've been in there putting work for years, man, and you can't even get a shot at the title. And the guy just come from 47 just go straight to the front of the line. I mean, at some point in time, if you're a prize fighter, just do like what Mayweather did, man. Just let the goddamn belts go, man. Just fight for bread. You know what I'm saying? And just let the other guys just get, let them be champions. There's no reason, to hold on to the belts. In my opinion, man. You know, especially if you're not fighting none of your mandatories, if you're not fighting any other contenders that are in your weight class, the guys who earn the shot. And that's one thing I like about the old school fighters, man. It's like, you can sympathize with a person who's been in your position when they, want a shot at the title. And, they always get, leapfrog or something happen or politics happen. You don't get a shot at the title. But at the end, I understand the money too, though. Somebody offer you some crazy money. You're like, well, shoot, man, I'm going for the bread. So it's kind of like a catch-22. But a guy like me and Billy, I like to see him get a crack at Canelo. I mean, he earned it. He's in the division. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, if he continues to detonate, folks, they can build the fight because, that's what, they all about, fireworks. And my man, when he lands that punch, my God.
Yeah.
It's lightning in a bottle.
Yep. Yeah, he gets a bit too wide for me, but yeah,
absolutely.
When it does land, oh boy.
Yeah. And I think Canelo's at a point now where he's playing it safe. You know, he's in that Rocky 3 right now. He don't have that same eye of the tiger that he does anymore. He just does enough just to get by now. And I think
He in Mayweather mode, you know. That last fight gonna be the big fight, and I'm hoping that it stays that way. I hope that's when we get the Benavidez fight, because at that point in time, his career is over. He don't care about the fans. But right now, I honestly believe his hesitancy, and I'm gonna put a little bit on Benavidez too, because you know he could have accessed opportunities to make the fight, but doubt Canelo would have entertained him. But I think he makes that his fight at the end, so that'd be his farewell to his people, and also like the what you call that, the rite of passage to the Mexican monster to go on and be the torchbearer for the people, for la raza.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I think what he should have did, he should have utilized the pull-up game, man. I think, you know, it ain't clout chasing, that's boxing, man. Man, I would just get on my Shannon Briggs, man. I'm showing up every time. Where you go, I go, champ. Whatever you eat, I eat, champ. I'm gonna show up everywhere. You know, just show up, man. Show up at every press conference. Every press conference, he should be out there asking when you gonna fight the Mexican monster. They've been doing. Should have been doing that for years, man.
Hey, that's been my calling card the whole time, man. Bump Twitter, bump YouTube interviews and all that stuff. Like you just said, that's how I'm used to them doing. They used to sit at ringside, commentate. Hey, yo, you know, you had a fantastic fight and you handled your business. Show why you a true champ. But I'm a true champ. And we got this understanding that there's two kings at the top. Well, there can only be one. So me and you, we need to lock horns. I remember those days. And like you said, at Shannon Briggs, and shout out Shannon Briggs, because, you know, he is old school as they come. If you got an interview right here, I'm at that interview. Mm-hmm. I'm showing up. I'm letting everybody know, sorry about that this is the fight that needs to be made, and I'm not accepting anything less. And I believe that that's what's mandatory for these people nowadays, because you got to make the people clamor for it, not have a reason to say, nah, but they don't deserve it, or nah, they don't need it, or no, it's not a good fight, or it don't make sense. Make it make sense.
Nah, that's facts, man. That's facts.
You got to buy a ringside ticket. I'm getting me a ringside ticket to every Canelo fight. Make that camera pan on me. I'm front row every fight. Every fight. I'm at the post press conference. I'm there asking questions. You know, I'm that guy, man. You're gonna have to make me go away, man.
Yeah, man. And then the fans are gonna start to ask, yo, why you not fighting this guy? He at every event calling you out. You know what I'm saying? Go get him. It was kind of like that moment in the Bud and Spence fight when Crawford looked over at Jermell, and then James Harden was like, yo, why he talking to you? Like,
hey, but bad, right? Yo, like, you gonna let him talk to you like that? My bad. And what was you about to say?
Why you talking to you?
I said you even got to pull up at the convention sometimes. That's what Lou DiBella and Sergio Martinez was doing when they were looking to get that fight with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Oh, right, yes.
They were pulling up to the conventions too, like, look, we're the number one contender. We're demanding this shot. They were pulling up to the fights, to the press conferences. They were just an absolute nuisance, those two dudes. Like, they did it all, man.
That's how you do it, man. That's how you do it. Shout out to Steve Pacino fighting Canelo next. Shout out to Yappy. He said Brooklyn in the building. What's going on, man? He said 729 was a movie. Yes, it was, man. Yes, it was. Earl Spence Crawford. That fight should have did more, man. That fight should have did more pay-per-views. That was unfortunate. But hey, we're out of that era, I think. I think that fight showed us we're out of that era.
I think you correcting that assessment, but I think also the dang drag out of the fight. You know, they almost had it done, and then he was fighting Avenesian.
Yeah.
Then there was speculation on whether Spence was going to go up to 54 or not, and if the fight ever was going to get made. I think it kind of dampened the move because while they were negotiating, it was hot. It was the only thing people were talking about.
Yeah. It's just crazy to think that could have been the first Turkey Al-Sheikh card, man. The way Crawford was talking, like that's the dude who was the backing. Al didn't want to do it because, Al want to do what he got to do for his guy. But damn, PBC could have broke down the door with Turkey Al-Sheikh.
Yeah, I think AJ was the first dude who's going over there getting that Saudi Arabia money.
Dubai money? Yeah, it was AJ. He was out there with Ruiz, was it? Ruiz?
Yeah, and Ruiz. Yeah, he the first one that went there kind of opened that whole door up, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody kind of follow suit, get the bread, man.
And then my boy started drinking wine and making videos talking about come get this money together.
Yeah, and people tripping, man. Even with the Tank, had they announced that fight yet? Tank and Roach fight, has it been announced?
I ain't see it announced, but the date is they still got the date booked. It's
they
Las
got
Vegas.
The date. They got the date. My man L Dub said he got the tickets. So if he got the tickets, I'm a back it. It's official because he usually tells us the real actual facts when it comes to these fights. Hell, sometimes he breaks the damn news to the fighters themselves. but I don't know why they're not doing any promotion. I don't know why they're taking longer than normal. But hey, I think just because it is Tank and, unfortunately, a lot of people want to see him not do well. They going to tune in, so they ain't not worried about the promotion at this point in time. But it should crank up pretty soon, hopefully.
Yeah, man. I'm looking on the commission site.
They should be promoting it right now, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking on Las Vegas, Nevada Athletic Commission. Yeah, TGB's got August 16th booked, T-Mobile Arena. They still got it booked, so
that's right. That's on like 6 weeks, man.
Yeah.
So I guess they probably gonna roll it out right after the Manny Pacquiao fight. It's probably when they're gonna start.
We just don't need no kidnappings, no drug charges, no masseuses, no Mickey Fricky, whatever it is that ticket rise to make a fight pull out. Because, man, I ain't gonna lie, boy, that was a bad look. They redeemed themselves somewhat with the Tevin Farmer, but they really went out bad out there. I couldn't believe what I was seeing and watching it unfold. But shout out to the kid, man. He came back and had a damn good performance against somebody I thought was gonna give him trouble.
Nah, I agree, man. I was totally taken back because I thought Tevin Farmer was gonna eventually win the fight on experience, but no, man, he got blasted. Like, I don't know what was going on. Kid Austin took care of business, though. That's what you're supposed to do when you got somebody hurt. You got to take him out.
Got him out of there. I think he caught him by surprise, man. I think he probably thought that Kid Austin was gonna come out there and try to fill him out.
You're right.
Sometimes you can catch a guy like that. You just come right out. I think Mike Tyson used to get a lot of guys out like that too. You come out there and just jump right on them from the start, man, and kind of puts a person in shock if they're not expecting it. The kid, and plus that right hand that he throw, I never seen a right hand. Like, it was a weird right hand. Like he didn't step around or anything. He just threw it like from a weird angle, and Tevin just didn't see it coming.
Hey, Ryan, can I ask one thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, my man Ant, he spoke on Just Do Show, and he was talking about the emotion that was being displayed. I like for him to chronicle that right here to your platform right now, man. Remember when you was talking about the reaction and how that played into what we saw transpire into the ring, especially when it comes to his dad? Yeah, he broke that. He captured that so damn poignantly. I would like for him to share it with you guys, man, because it was spot on. Hey, you there?
Yeah, he unmuted. He dropped off. Probably gonna come back in. Shout out to DC3 Houston in the building, my guy, man. Dropping the $5 on me. Keep working, brother. I see you. I see you too, man. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, Kid Austin, he had a lot of emotion, man. A
I want my chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.
He definitely brought them dips to Farmer too. He definitely gave him the dips.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he was in a lot of emotion. Didn't his dad say he got him hypnotized or something like that? He said something crazy.
Man, we can't help our people, bro. I know it's got to be tough for him. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. What up, man?
Yo.
Yeah, we got you, bro.
There we go. Yeah, I had switched to my switched to my MacBook because I don't know what happened with my phone. It's acting janky, man. But yeah, I was just saying the kid Schofield, Kid Austin, he looked he just looked relieved. He looked relieved because his father did a whole lot of talking, said he was the greatest ever. He had mastered over 5 different styles of boxing and this, that, and the third, and he was going to do whatever to Tevin Farmer. And then also the blowback that he got from pulling out of the fight with Shakur, with the passport pages being torn out and guys planting drugs, calling the police on him at 2 a.m. and all this other stuff. And he talked about contemplating retiring from the sport because he couldn't deal with all of the scrutiny. So he just looked relieved that it went that way. And that was another. And what Coach Eddie just said a moment ago, I picked up on that too. The way he threw it, because he threw the right hand, like he punched across his body.
Yeah, it's a dangerous position to put yourself in.
Extremely, but and that's why I say, like, watching that fight, it still left me with a lot more questions about this kid's development. I thought it was a fantastic stoppage. Tevin Farmer had only been stopped by, who was it, like Jose Pedraza or somebody early on in his career.
Yeah, it might have been Jose.
Yeah, I know Jose stopped him for sure, but I think that might have been the only time he had been stopped, or maybe the second time. That might be the third time. But in any event, Tevin Farmer, he's been on a roll, giving a lot of these other younger guys tough fights. We've seen him in there with Raymond Morataya. They were separated by my personal opinion of the point deduction. That point deduction doesn't happen. That fight could be awarded to Tevin Farmer. Both of those fights with Williams and Pater were close as hell. It was a majority decision and a split decision in both of those fights.
Yep.
So coming into this fight, I thought that Tevin Farmer was going to take the young man into deep waters, but he got caught cold early on. And that was just such an unorthodox shot because, like you said, it's a very precarious position to put yourself in, punching across your body like that. Like, let's say if Tevin Farmer is able to see that shot coming and respond appropriately, that's a nasty little counter that Kid Austin could have walked himself into. Now, thankfully for him, he connected on Tevin Farmer and it dropped him, and it was pretty much all she wrote from there. But it was still a pretty sloppy move. But I also feel like it highlights the athleticism that he has, that he can do things that are technically wrong and still be explosive. He's still dangerous, despite the fact that he's largely flawed. But I want to see how he looks moving forward. It was a big win for him. I can't take anything away from him because, Tevin Farmer is no slouch by any means. Former champion who made several defenses, albeit at a lower weight, but still a crafty veteran guy. He caught him cold and handled business. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Yep. Shout out to my guy DC3. He said David Benavidez and the PBC take over Riyadh. Yeah, man.
I want my chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that's what my man told Tevin. He said, "Bring my chips with the dip."
For real. The David Benavidez. Yeah, man. Benavidez. That R. Kelly special. Man, I don't know why they doing the Tank Roach like that, because if I'm on the undercard, I'm pissed, man, that my fight not getting promoted.
I know that's right.
Like, what the heck?
You know
Isn't
what,
Cool
Ryan?
Boy
You're
supposed to
the
be
first
fighting
person who
O'Shaquie?
mentioned that, bro. You're the first
Like,
person who mentioned that. That is a fantastic point. If you are on the undercard, you should be pissed off because this is an opportunity for you to,
yeah,
climb
on
the
the
rungs
tank
of the
card.
ladder.
Yeah, man. Everybody gonna be watching, so like, I need people to know I'm fighting. Like,
Yeah, I don't even know who's on the undercard. Have they announced it yet?
nah, I think Cool Boy and O'Shaquie's supposed to be fighting though. I
Oh
heard like
man,
rumblings of that.
oh,
Supposed
that
to
was
be
a
on
good
this
scrap
card.
right there.
Mm-hmm. But other than that, I haven't really heard about who else is gonna be on the card. Like maybe Jermell got to come back. Jermell Charlo, maybe he gets on.
Who they bringing Charlo back against?
Man,
Little
there
Charlo,
not
they
be
got to
no,
bring him back.
there
He
not be
been
no
out the ring
cornflake.
since Canelo, since his fight with
That
Canelo.
cornflake fight, that fight was ridiculous. His brother came back against
Oh,
cornflake.
yeah.
Man, come on, that was horrible, man.
He got a ranking too for that. That's nasty.
I think
Yeah,
they need to put on a good card though, man. They need to stack the card, man. You know what I'm saying? They really do, just to kind of compete, with the Turkey card. But like I say, they working together too. PBC is working with Turkey, so there really ain't no competition.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, I mean, everybody's kind of working hand in hand. I mean, if you got a guy who's willing to pay one of your fighters to come over there, I mean, why not send him over there?
Yep. And they've been
Real.
participating on the past couple of cards. You look at that August 3rd card last year, the Canelo Madrimov card, not Canelo, Crawford Madrimov card. You had Pitbull on there. You had Ryo on there. We were just talking about Adames versus, you had David Morrell on there. We were just talking about the Adames Shiraz fight a couple of minutes ago. Adames is a PBC fighter. He fought on the Riyadh season card. So this is just another one. February 22nd. Who else was on that card? Somebody from PBC. I can't remember. But these guys, they've been over there.
Yeah.
These guys been over there. So
yeah, I think it probably wouldn't hurt Tank, man. If I'm Tank, man, I'm gonna explore my options, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's see at least sit down with the man, see what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Charlo versus Keith Thurman. Jermell Charlo and Keith at 54, maybe. That'd be a good fight.
For me, I think, like you said, the inclusion of them working together, and they have been working together for a while now. It's just like it just hasn't been high profile names and high profile fights, but they really haven't had that very many of them. So I think after this rematch, it probably would be a possibility because in order for them to generate the that's why I agree with what we said earlier about showing up to press conferences, showing up to fights, man, showing up to wherever the hell the cameras are and you're in the venue, because that's how we get to generate the buzz for the fight. I apologize for the background, man.
Yeah, that's all good.
But I think that that may be a viable option, man, especially when you're talking about if it's a searching fight. You could see them drawing, because I mean, let's face it, he wants Tank over there because you could sell Tank and it would bring more views to him. So if we get the fight that everybody is interested in and they can put a figure together that will make absolute sense, I could see it happening, but I don't think it's going to happen over in Riyadh, though, because that's where I don't like that the bigger fights for our fighters are going over to Riyadh as opposed to being here. Like, let your people come to the fights. Let your platform be showcased by the actual talent on there, and let these people, the talent, actually showcase their skills in front of their people. And then you could think about maybe having special formats and special destinations for like huge fights then, but just build a buzz. So hopefully that's what I want, because I just want to see fights, bro. That's all I care to see.
Yeah, you got to get Shakur and Tank. If provided Tank able to take care of business against Roach, man, because that's not a foregone conclusion. got roach problems right now. He might need to call an exterminator. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, last time he wasn't caught making no calls. Remember, he had no commentation, no commentary on social media or nothing. Barely showed up to the press conference. At least this time he talking. So, you know, he might bring the black flag. I'm thinking he bringing the black flag and the rag with him.
Yeah, shout out to DC3, drop another $2 on me. Said, you know, I'm a PBC guy, but this is a hell of a card, Ryan. Yeah, bro. This Riyadh card is serious, bro.
I want my chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.
Yeah, now we just need it all signed, man. We need all these dudes signed so we can get ready to go, bro, for November. But, jeez. I can't get mad at this at all, man. It'd be 4 title fights. This is like some Don King shit.
Yeah,
4
good
title
fight.
fights. Haney, Norman, Benavidez, Yarde, Sam Noakes, Abdullah, and then Raymond Mulataya and Cruz, all title fights.
Very interested to see that Noakes Abdullah fight because, you know, there's a lot of people who don't believe in the young brother from Ohio, but I think that's where he's going to show his wares, man. I think that's when he fully recognizes the power and the draw of the moment. Right now, it's just handling business, but then I think he'll see the fact that, hey, this is an opportunity to make my mark. I think he takes that responsibility against a great competitor.
Nah, this is Abdullah's time for him to, shut all the haters up and then be a champ, man. Like, be a champ at, what, 21? Make him the youngest champ in boxing?
Well, you know, speaking on that too, Ryan, I think that we got a lot of belt holders, very few champions. I think it can push him on that realm of championship level competition because then you can defend your title, become a true champion. Exactly. Just winning belts and dipping, or winning belts and holding them and not making fights, not contesting them against the person that's next up. So yeah, hopefully, because there's a lot of work for it. The one thing I will say about this young group, they all around the same weight classes. So it definitely stands to reason that we can get these fights if they choose to make the fights. So hopefully the companies that represent them, that put that bread up, will see the opportunity to make big fights and resurge the spectacle that is boxing when it's at its truest form.
You guys think we can get Shakur and Abdullah Mason? Like, I know Bob, for whatever reason, he was still pushing Abdullah up that WBC while Keyshawn had that BO.
Man, I think Shakur need to go to 140, man.
Yeah, 140 is a good-ass division, too.
Yeah, I think that's where the bread is at, man. I mean, if he can't get the Tank fight, man, just slide on up to 140, man.
Yeah, get the Teos, Gary's, Hitchens.
Yes,
that's the buddy, though, isn't it? They friends,
I mean, that's where it is. I mean, because 135, you're either going to be fighting a lot of young guys. If you can't get Tank in the ring, what's the point of hanging out, man? You know, you know what I'm saying? You got to get up there where the big dogs is at, man. At least the name fighters, especially if you want to keep commanding, you know, high dollar paydays. They ain't gonna be paying you that type of money if you fight a guy like, you know, like young guys. No shade to Abdullah Mason, but he's not gonna be getting no huge payday fighting Abdullah Mason. He's gonna have to fight a name guy, man.
That's true.
Yeah, there's only one fight for me at 135. I think for the younger bucks, honestly, I don't even see Abdullah staying at 35 too long. Yeah, I think his extremely big, and you know, most of the times he gotta get down to the nooks and crannies just to get in that ring. So you know, he's a big boy, and he's growing. He's young. It's only a matter of time before he moves up. But while they are there, and he is fighting, I agree with what you said, man. He moves his fighters a certain way, and it was a reason why at 30 he did not want that dang Shakur. What's his name?
Keyshawn?
Nah, the kid that got popped for controlled substances, and He fought Bach. Oh my belt.
That Poyo?
No, oh my God, I can't believe I can't think right now. Valdez, yeah, Valdez.
With the T.
Yeah, my man was so adamant against. Remember, he didn't go to any of the previous press conferences, and the vinyl one, he was only there for 5 minutes and said it was a stupid fight.
Yeah.
Why would it be a stupid fight to unify your division with your champions unless it's opportunistic for you to have many champions available for the young plethora of talent that you got there? So I think they was grooming them to go a certain route. I think they knew that Keyshawn wasn't going to be there, so they was going to push him that way, more tired the other way, and then have the younger competition fight for one of those belts, but not each other. But I don't know if Mason is on that damn game plan. I think he really wants to, as much as he can, accomplish as much as he can in that division before he has to move up. So it'd be interesting to see how they move the fighters, because they have control of 3 of the belts now.
If I'm not mistaken, Abdullah is also managed by Jay Prince. Do you think that that's a conflict right there? You know, that's also Shakur's manager.
Absolutely.
Jay Prince, do you want to put your two
that
fighters
is a conflict. I didn't even think about that.
So to Coach Eddie's point, it's like, yo, if you have them a division apart, at least right now, these guys won't be stepping on each other's toes. Then you can have a champion at 135 and possibly at 140.
And there was also, to allude to that too, man, I remember the interview where he said he ain't got no brother. His brother's all by his side. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he did say that, but what Ant just said is the critical component. That is Jay Prince, and Jay Prince is both of them. So, yeah, I think that's a huge conflict right there.
Yeah, Jay Prince not about to mess up his bag.
At all.
For nobody.
So,
man.
This Zapata fight that's coming up, Shakur, you think Shakur washes him, or is it going to be competitive?
I think he washes him. I don't know. I was drinking the Zapata Kool-Aid after the Maxie Hughes fight, I believe it was, because of the body work that he did. But then when I went back and watched his fights, I'm just like, the quality of his work is just lacking, in my personal opinion. And then also, I think like the volume punching, yeah, he throws a lot of punches, but I'm looking at the location, like where is he letting his hands go? And for the most part, it's like when he's got a guy in the triangle, so to speak, like in the corner by the turnbuckle. Aside from that, when he's like in the center of the ring, he doesn't really punch in combination like that. Doesn't really let his hands go. And I think a lot of it has to do with his feet. He doesn't have the quickest feet. He doesn't necessarily have the best footwork. He breaks his base a lot. So when he's in the center of the ring, he gets turned quite a bit by guys who can, you know, pivot and move and things of that sort. So I think that putting him in the corner, it limits the counter-punching opportunities for his opponent. Like, yeah, they can still counter him, but it won't be the same as like them being able to step over or pivot around and fire. And he's got I think he's got like pedestrian hand speed. We kind of seen it in the Tevin Farmer fight. Tevin was landing a lot of straight left hands over the top of his jab. I think Malcolm is on point too. Like, he doesn't really feint. He doesn't really mix it up. He just commits, and then when he is punching in combination, seldom do you really see him double up on one side. He's not very creative with his combinations. It's right, left, right, left, right, left. I just think that Shakur is just too sharp between the ears. I think that his feet are too quick. I think he's going to be taking that little half step back, or maybe even fighting the way he did against Jamel Herring, where he fought him mid-range and he was punching on the move and not allowing the guy to get his feet set. But I think that it's going to be pretty one-sided. I'm thinking there's a good chance he may even be able to stop him. Also, his punching power. If Shakur feels his punching power and he doesn't really feel like it's that, I think he'll be willing to take more chances, similar to what he did with what's my man's name? Somebody just mentioned him in the chat a moment ago. Robson Conceição.
Say
Oh,
so. Yeah.
Yeah, Robson can say so. Like once he felt his punching power and it wasn't anything super crazy, he was putting the beast by Dre on that guy. And I think Zepeda, I believe that's part of the reason why he throws over 1,000 punches a fight, because his punching power is it's okay, but it ain't nothing crazy. You seen he emptied the whole clip, hit this guy with everything, including the kitchen sink, Jojo
Yeah.
Diaz, and couldn't stop him. He hit him. He threw over 1,200 punches in that fight. So
Nah, that's
I think
true,
Shakur is
man.
going to be able to outclass him. And I think the only thing that may give Shakur any issue is if his hands falter in that fight. And we've seen him tweak his hand in several fights, dating back to the fight that he had with Felix Caraballo about 5 years ago. That was the first time where it really surfaced. But yeah, if his hands hold up, even if they are a little nicked up, like we just seen with Josh Padley, his hand was hurting that fight too, still stopping to the body. I think that Williams and Page is just going to get broken down and outclassed.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think the hand is the biggest thing for me. And damn, bro, that last fight, his hand went. And shout out to my dude Russ Amber. He actually raps Shakur Stevenson and provides rival gloves. But man, he couldn't even keep them hands safe. So it makes you think, like, how long has Shakur had these hands issues? Like, has it been his whole career? Is it as of late? But yeah, man, I think that's number one. Can the hand hold up?
Yeah,
Well, one thing's for certain.
I like to see a good fight. I like to see a good competitive fight. You know, I want to see if this guy could bring Shakur, make him go to another level, make him come out of the third gear. You know what I'm saying? Make him step on the gas. Like that's what we want to see from our fighters a lot of times. We want to see our guys pushed a little bit, no matter who the guy is, just to see something different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we know Shakur got the skills. He got the accolades. He's a pure boxer, man, and should be a good fight. But at the end of the day, it is boxing, and I'm definitely 90-10 Shakur. I always give a guy a chance. Everybody has a chance. A puncher's chance, or you might get lucky or something like that. I just hope it's not a situation where he allows Zepeda to outwork him that the judges maybe give him credit for punches that don't land. A lot of times the judges, they'll do that sometimes, but they're not paying attention. They just see a guy working and the guy not really working, or maybe not throwing as many punches as the other guy. Sometimes they'll award the other guy the round just because. Plus, I think a memo's out too. I just feel like maybe this made some like weird conspiracy against Devin and Shakur right now, man. And I think they're gonna try to give one of them guys a loss. I don't know who it's gonna be, but if they get an opportunity to slap an L on one of them guys, I think they're gonna do it, man. You know what I'm saying? Just to send some type of messages. So maybe that's just me being a conspiracy theorist, but I don't know, like all this crap, this Tom and Jerry and talking about no running rules and all this crap right there, man, that's really been going around. Now all of a sudden now everybody is being accused of being a runner. What? Guys, it's crazy, man. So they got to keep that in mind, man. I think if you go in there, if you don't fight, man, I think they're going to penalize you, man. If you don't let your hands go, I think they're going to hold it against you.
That's unfortunate because you got content creators trying to change the rules of boxing, man. I don't agree with that. Like, we can't have one style in this sport. That's what makes the sport great. When we got style matchups, we always want to see the puncher versus the mover. It's okay to watch a couple guys go head to head, but that's not what the sport's about, man. We like to see the chess match. Well, I like to see it. It's great when you see a fighter figure a guy out and then break him down. Like, it's actually fun to watch that whole process come out. Some people don't know what they're seeing, but man, when Crawford, he dissects some people, even Usyk, some of the master boxers anyway, when those guys dissect guys, it's beautiful. And they're not doing it with just rock and sock 'em. They're doing it with angles, footwork, and constant pressure, sometimes you just see the guy in the ring, his will just break right in front of you. And that's boxing, man. And I don't know what Rock'em Sock'em, that's not going to help it. That's going to make your favorite fighter fight less. You're going to see less of them. That's all that's going to do. So I think
it's a way. Yeah, it's a way to be entertaining and still, it's got to have balance. You know what I'm saying? Because we even seen guys like Floyd. We seen Floyd change the way he fought sometimes because he listened to the criticism. Even Bernard Hopkins, he fought certain ways when people criticizing him. He stepped on the gas a little bit more. He took a few more chances. So and sometimes you got to do that because at the end of the day, it is all about people coming to see and want to see you and stuff like that. So you got to find that balance right there where you're not reckless, but at the same time you're offering some type of entertainment value, and also just to get the guy, just to get him out of there at the end of the day, especially if you have an opportunity to get the guy out of there. I think Shakur can get people out there if he wants to. It's up to him.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? If he wants to do it, I think he can do it. I think he can press for it. I think if he presses for a knockout, I think he can get it. But it's all up to him whether he wants to do it or not.
I will say this. You said you don't know how long that's been. Ant was right when he said it happened, that fight, and I know his grandpa said that it's been the last 7 fights, and that was before the Padley fight. So his last 8 fights, he's navigated the ring with messed up hands, and he's navigated the ring pretty damn well, if you ask me. I think in this fight, I don't see Zepeda throwing anything at him that he will not be ready for, prepared for, or has never seen before. And if he's just going to throw volume of punches, he's going to leave himself open, and he's going to allow for his timing because he doesn't switch up. I mean, he's limited with the levels that he uses, but he does at times go to the body, but he's limited to the level of angles that he throws his punches from. He doesn't really switch the speed or the tenacity of the punch. It's just everything is yeah. And you can't do that with my man Shakur because he's gonna pick that timing up, he's gonna pick up that distance, and then he's gonna start picking you apart. So I mean, I know everybody thinks that this will be the test for him, but it's not gonna be the test that many people believe. I think he's going to navigate the ring very well, no matter how small it is. I think you don't have to move as much when you're moving in a circle. And all he got to do is constantly turn his ass and pop him like he was doing Yoshino the whole night long. And it will be a replay of that. What else was I about to say? Regarding his ability to stop people, he's gotten stops, even with bad hands. And I mean, if it doesn't look like it's going to be anywhere near competitive and you're taking punches, the ref will stop it. Just like they did the day he fought Yoshino. Just like they did, with other fights that he's had. So, I don't believe that a stoppage is out of the question. In fact, I'm believing that's what we're going to see, a late stoppage. And I think that you'll see, once again, that he gets sorted on for putting together a performance. And then unfortunately for Zepeda, he's going to be really dragged under the thing as being pretty much trash as well too, because there are people right now calling him trash.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's boxing, man. Fans are cruel out here. Oh man.
But just to speak to the point that you were making about Rock'em Sock'em, I mean, most people say Benavidez is a Rock'em Sock'em fighter. That he's just in there just winging punches and things like that, man. Shout out to my man Ant McQueen. He and I, pound for pound boxing, and my man Who Got Hands, my man Ange, we do a lot of breakdown, exposés with the rate, because you put up a quote earlier about people never agreeing. I agree with this one thing with everybody. The ring tells the true story of what's going to happen. And I think in the ring, we could tell exactly what's going on. We could see what's going on, and we can get a pretty good indicator of what possibly could go on with said matches. And we broke down Benavidez. What we saw was somebody adding to his craft fight by fight. And even if it didn't look good, he's operating under the premise that form follows function. He's very functional with the way he does things, his punches, his defense, his feet. They all serve a purpose. And he is very adept at creating ways, angles to get off a punch or to deflect a punch or to parry a punch or to evade a punch. And we got to start really appreciating things. That's why I tell people a lot of times, man, sometimes it's best to go back and rewatch the fight and then rewatch it at a half speed, because then you start seeing stuff that we deem as the glitz and glam, the sounds and the sights of the crowd and the atmosphere really didn't translate to what we thought it was in the ring. And people are actually doing better work in the ring than we maybe have given them credit for. And Benavidez is such a fighter. I mean, when you look at what he does, man, he does a lot of crafty stuff. And all the work that he's put in along the years, getting these spars, this quality sparring session in, man, he's picked up. And he's been sparring various schools of boxing too. So that dude he's sharp, man. He's tough. And he got a hell of a motor.
Yeah, I like Benavidez. And like, you're right, man. He did a lot of things good in that Morrell fight too. Like, he showed a lot of different tools I didn't think he had, but it's true. People just associate him with just rock'em sock'em, that he's just all punches, no defense. And yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about.
I think Morrell made it real easy. Either he made it easy for him, or David made it hard. I don't know which one is which. I just think Morrell, he fought the wrong fight, man. Shout out to David, because David was able to draw him into that type of fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being younger, it's like he tried to out monster the monster and tried to prove that he couldn't hurt him, because it was that time where the dude stood in front of him with his hands down and allowed David to hit him with free punches just to show that he couldn't hurt him. But that's not gonna win you the fight.
Yeah, man. Even Ronnie Shields was telling David Morrell, keep going down, go to the body, and he'd shoot like one shot, and then the rest of the round he just headhunt. It was like, man, you didn't even try to listen to Ronnie Shields. But hey,
and that's why the Yarde fight is so interesting to me, because when they announced the fight, I immediately go back and start watching. So let me see what this guy could do, because I know David's the favorite. You know, everybody picking the 90-10. You know, something crazy. They're not even giving Yarde a chance. Well, let me go see what Yarde can do to pull this off. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at Yarde has a good left hook to the body. He throws it well. And I said, now I know David like that high guard. He stands up tall.
Yeah,
I said, them ribs that shot's going to be there, man. That shot is going to be there. Now, is he going to be able to utilize it? And one thing about it, even with the Linden fight, how Yarde was able to lean on him and just keep him up against the rope and just kind of he'll maul you at times. You know what I'm saying? He'll lay on you. He'll push you up against the rope. He uses forearms and uses shoulders and stuff like that. So I know this is going to be the strongest guy that David been in there, physically strong wise. I just want to see how David's going to be fighting if his back is up against the rope, because David does his best work when he's at the end of his punches, and in that little bit of mid range too, when he can run the numbers on you. But is he going to be able to deal with the smothering, the constant grappling, the guy that's laying on you, putting you up against the rope, and also banging the body, man? Because we never really seen anybody bang the body on David like that. David has always just had such a huge advantage on most guys that he fight that they couldn't do it. So it's like that's why this match is. I think this match is going to be a lot better than a lot of people think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a highly contested match. This Yarde David fight. That's my opinion.
Yeah, man. I'm about to wrap it up though, fellas. Thanks for
man.
Up.
Hey, salute. Thanks for having me, brother. Salute Thomas Hill. Salute Ann McQueen. Salute to you, Mr. Frazier.
Yes, sir. Hey, yo, Ann McQueen, you want to let the people know where they can find you, man?
On everybody else's panel but my own. Like, real talk, like I go live like every other month, it feels like. But I think I got a link somewhere. Hold on.
Yeah, no, he just put it. I hadn't put it up in the chat, but if you could put it again. Put it again, Ryan. So you know that's that good brother Ant McQueen. It is the Casuals Corner, and everybody is welcome. And we just come back and we expose what we see in the ring, man. We let the ring do the talking, and us do the listening.
You guys do some great breakdowns, bro.
Yeah, we just try to keep it argument free. You know how it goes, Ryan. Like, it's very difficult to argue with somebody about a right hand that just landed. We all saw it, unless we're not trusting our eyes.
There's a few people now.
I mean, fortunately for us, this is where we found out that, you know, David Benavidez gets a bad rap, man. This dude, like even just right now, like the body, he said he's open to the body. The only has been Kyron Davis, but he's got a very.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, he gave him a tough fight. I thought, even though he survived.
He did. He just was the epitome of the dichotomy where they say, you know, you just ain't got enough to keep me up off of you, because they both was landing shots. One just was having a greater impact than the other. Just like the fight that happened on the undercard of the Sasaki Norman fight with Kuroda and Tanaka. You remember that fight?
Nah, I didn't even get to watch that one.
You didn't get to watch. Oh, when you get a chance, man, go back and watch that fight. That is rock'em sock'em at its finest. But that is the case of you just ain't got enough to keep me up off of you, and it just ended up just taking attrition on him. But yeah, you know, he's got a very active guard. His guard moves and is fluid. Wherever your attack is going to come, he gets it there slyly, and he's effective at it. Likewise, on the opposite end, he's wherever you're open. David Benavidez, he targets, and he does it sly. He might tap this just to give you this tap there and things like that. It's like savvy, and I think more so than anything, that's what your boy Morrell was not ready for. Morrell also does things. He wastes movement, he wastes space, he wastes punches and things like that, where, you know, it's just a learning lesson. But on that, man, fantastic format, excellent panel, excellent conversation in the chat, man. Nothing but continued success. And man, I know it's not your fourth, but hey, enjoy the fireworks that was this night, man.
Yes,
Have a wonderful day, everybody out there, and check out the Casuals Corners too while you're over there. Get a chance, man. You pick up a little bit of something that you probably didn't even know about a fighter or a particular fight.
For real.
You guys have a blessed day, though.
Shout out to Thomas Hill, man. Some guys always showing love over here, always supporting the channel. Yeah, man, this was a great live, bro. Everybody tuning in, I really appreciate all the super chats. Shout out to my guy, DC3. Shout out to Smochy. Shout out to Ray Davis, he became a member. Shout out to Darius Flowers, my man Stock Chasers. Man, appreciate all the love, man. Last note before we leave here, my brother, he got a fight date August 9th at the Central Niagara Center here in Canada. Yo, my bro's been on the shelf all year, so I'm happy he getting in the ring, man, to get a fight in. He's going to be fighting in Colombia at the end of this month, you know, kind of like something. We need to get at least 2-3 a year. That's what he's on. So we're going to get a fight at the end of this month, and then that's going to be his, you know, his main fight. August 9th in Niagara Falls, Central Niagara Center. Bro, we going to put the world on map, bro. We got to put the world on map. So, you know what I'm saying? My brother going to do his thing, man. But shout out to everybody for tuning in, man. Shout out to Stock Chasers. Shout out to Ray Davis. Shout out to Malcolm, my guy. You already know what it is, man. I'm not sure if I'll be on with Ness. I don't even know if Ness is going live tomorrow, but y'all know what it is, man. If y'all subscribe, make sure y'all hit y'all alerts or just check the post. I think I'm gonna probably go live Monday night at 9 p.m., man. But appreciate everybody for tuning in. And yeah, make sure you smash that like button on the way on out, right? So the boys, some love. Y'all know what it is. Peace.
Yeah. What? I will slap you if you don't move this car. I'ma slap you. I'ma slap you.